everyone. Welcome to the stream. Let's see here. I think I have my music off. Let me turn the music back on. I hate dead silence. I can't do it. We have some guests today in the chat. So we have, I think he just got up though. 3Dub was here a second ago. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Is this mic low for everybody else?
A little bit.
3Dub, you need to get that fixed. Well, you can't get anything to work right, 3Dub. I'm so over it. Anyway, so yeah, you're a little low. You might want to up it in either StreamYard or on your mic. So we have Paigey below me here.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, I knew it. Okay, what are you gonna say here? I've got a big bowl of popcorn. I came prepared tonight.
Oh.
I've got a bowl of
fresh out of the microwave.
I've got a small bowl of your favorites, Eric.
What is that?
Twisties.
Oh, I forgot what twisties are. Are they the little cheesy things?
Yeah, well, there's cheese and chicken. I've got the cheese ones.
Okay, those are really good. And we have Darren in the house. Welcome,
hello,
Darren. Good to see you. So I was just telling 3Dub before we went live. I think next week I'm gonna have to do a Monday night stream as well as the after party because New York City Comic Con is this weekend, and I don't want to wait till Thursday of next week to talk about all the stuff from Comic Con. So I'll probably do a live stream on Monday just for Comic Con, and save the Superman and Lois stuff for Tuesday. And people will probably come in the chat and spoil stuff, but it is what it is. If you haven't seen the show yet, I'm not going to spoil anything tonight. Don't worry. I know some people have said they're not caught up. The CW app is apparently garbage. I haven't used it to stream in forever. So, but apparently it's not good. So, does anybody watch it exclusively on the CW app? Do anybody here?
I mean, when I miss one, I use it, and every time I'm dreading it because it's just the worst experience.
Are there lots of ads on it?
Yeah, there's like every couple minutes there's like a 3 to 5 ads that play, and like the stream quality is never great. Like sometimes they'll just go out and be a little blurry, and it's like, well, what the heck, man? I'm trying to see all those CW biceps. I can't.
We're gonna have to talk about the CW in this stream. We've got some CW news to talk about.
Oh boy.
I actually did a little bit of digging too, so it's gonna be quite fun. Anyway, is anybody going to see Venom next week? I know that comes out next weigend.
I already got my tickets.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
To be honest, I didn't know it was that close, but the answer is no. So
Paige's not engaging in Venom.
I feel like I've seen marketing everywhere, and yet it doesn't feel like it's anywhere close. It's like, oh my god, it's here.
I think the big question is, was the height the Jizz Pizza or was that the low? Like
that was the height, I think. That was the highest one. We've got an ad we're going to look at here that's playing in the United States right now for Venom that I think is hilarious, but we'll look at that when we get there.
I did see that.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. We didn't get any cool stuff like Australia where they actually put things on your food. We didn't get anything like that. So I wonder why they don't do that here. Because Burger King does the weird colored food, so I don't understand why like the pizza places don't do it.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too sure. The only thing I can think of is because in America, Pizza Hut's like with the Taco Bell and KFC thing. So maybe because all three of them are there, like I don't know.
There's a lot of those combined around here. I don't know if you guys have them like 3Dub and Darren, but around here we have a lot of like Taco Bells and KFCs combined, or Pizza Huts and Taco Bells combined. They're like one building. And Wing Street. Wing Street is the other one.
But Wing Street's just Pizza Hut because we have Wing Street here, but it's just in Pizza Hut.
We have some of ours are connected to Pizza Hut and some of them are separate.
Oh, okay.
That's why my microphone was so freaking low.
Wow.
On the sound setting it was at 10.
Oh, well, yeah. That would.
Yeah, but now we can fucking hear your microwave or whatever that is in the background.
Is that a fan? Turn your fan off, 3Dub.
I don't have a fan.
Well, then I don't know what that is.
It's my computer. And if I turn that off, I can't use it.
Wait. That's your computer making that much noise?
Yeah, I can do echolocation and other stuff, so give me a second.
Okay. I was going to say, you should be able to...
All right.
No.
All right, so while we're doing that, I'm not going to spoil any of the episodes, but let's go ahead. We're going to get into our normal roundup of...
ass.
Okay, so I am dreading next week's episode because I know it is the Kyle and Chrissy episode, the one that we talked about before the season started. And I didn't realize that until I saw this. And I'm like, great, because they said explicitly this was going to be primarily about Kyle and Chrissy. And I'm worried.
I honestly don't think it's going to be as bad as we think it is.
Yeah, I think it's fear mongering, which is Eric's favorite pastime.
It is. It is 100%.
I remember during COVID, that was hilarious but scary at the same time. I think it's like not going to be. I think it's going to be like the core of the episode. That makes sense, but it's not going to be like we're hitting a pit stop or something like that, and everything just breaks for an episode because like. Lois is still going to be doing the stuff with Luther. In the trailer, it shows that Jonathan's using his powers and stuff like that. So I think it's just more like, just sort of like I guess like a bit of a reset, if that makes sense. But I think it's also to allow like they don't really want to do too much until Superman comes back. I'm just intrigued to see if Superman's back by the end of the episode or they leave that till episode 5.
I'm just going to assume the worst. I'm going to think there's no Superman, no kids, just all Chrissy and Kyle of the whole episode.
I also could see like where they're coming from when it's like it's the Kyle and Chrissy hour where the episode is about like prepping for their wedding, but it's not necessarily all them throughout the episode. So it's probably Jordan and Sarah and stuff kind of like doing stuff around the wedding. They get into some trouble. It's Lex around the wedding kind of thing. So
okay.
I think it's going to be fine, to be honest.
Well, you guys have like made me feel better about it, so I'm not so upset anymore. All right.
And now it's probably gonna be the most arse episode of all time. Actually, gonna come in, it's like I knew it.
I told you, I knew it. You did. You guys fooled me. All right. Next thing is we're getting some pictures from New York City Comic Con. So there's a lot of stuff in here, early stuff because we're just like literally in the early phases of it. I think over the weekend we might get a few big surprises. There might be a lot of stuff DC related. So again, I'll be streaming on Monday night at this time on Monday to talk specifically about New York City Comic Con. And we'll save all the Superman and Lois stuff for Tuesday. All right. So Red Hulk, here's a close-up of Harrison Ford as Red Hulk. Any thoughts on this?
He looks like Red Hulk. So
I mean, does it look good is what I'm asking. That's the question.
It still like pulls me out of the like disbelief of how his hair changes to black as soon as he transforms. I don't know why, but that's it.
Wait, so the massive body transformation doesn't bother you? The change in
no. It's just it's kind of like he gets younger when he hulks out.
Well, in the comic books, technically Hulk lives forever as long as he doesn't turn back into Bruce Banner. So I do believe that there's like a thing where Hulk's healing factor keeps him alive indefinitely.
I just rewatched The Incredible Hulk over on my channel, and like it is very weird kind of looking at it now with Harrison Ford's face on it, because I do wonder what things would have happened if things didn't change with obviously the actor, obviously the all the stuff that went down over there. Right. I do wonder what this movie would look like if that actor had stayed on board and stuff like that. Like
I'll tell you what I rewatched recently. I was like, fuck, this is a good movie. It's on Disney Plus, don't worry, it's nothing with like
never mind.
Boobs or something. Actually, there's boobs on Australian Disney Plus, but I'm not sure about the American one. Yeah, Aaron Hernandez show, boobs and penis. It's sort of crazy. But anyway, I rewatched National Treasure. What a movie. The first one. I was like watching it, I was like, how good is this? And it was mainly because I was going to watch the show. The show's pretty shit. 2 episodes into it, I'm like, this is not that good. Mainly because it just doesn't really make too much sense. But it's in the same universe. But anyway, just thought I'd shout out National Treasure. Watch it if you haven't, because I was like,
I kind of wish the TV show wasn't in the same universe. I'd like for it to be a separate thing.
It should have been like a major connection or not being connected at all. But it goes with Harvey Keitel's character. Like, what the most random character? You didn't. So random, but anyway.
Yeah. So Paigey, Harrison Ford's talking about celebrities and stars. Remember we had this debate last year about what a movie star is? Well, Harrison Ford says...
roughly, yeah.
There's wonderful actors coming up every day. Whether or not they become movie stars is not really the point. I've never fucking understood being a movie star. I'm an actor. I tell stories.
Yeah.
The question is, Paigey, would you consider Harrison Ford a movie star? Han Solo, Indiana Jones, like
I would say I don't know. Yeah, but like once again, those characters are iconic, so it's sort of. But then again, like I don't know, like if anyone else could play them, so it's. But then he's been in like good movies and stuff outside of. Mate, I don't know if anyone else had to do this in high school, but I had to watch Witness, the Amish movie that he's in.
No, I never. We were never.
Oh my god! I think I watched that movie about 20 times in like year 11 or something, high school, and like did my head in watching that movie. It's a good movie, but when the first time we watched it, and then after the 20th time, like I didn't want to watch Harrison Ford again. Speaking of boobs, I think you see Amish boobs in that movie, and you watch that in school.
No, talking about boobs.
I'm pretty sure you see the Amish lady's boobs, but anyway.
Boob alert.
Anyway, or just in case you thought you might have been watching a very conservative Amish.
I mean, this is the late night show. I'll allow it. It's the late night show. So.
But I don't know if he's. I think now he's not a movie star. I think in like the 90s and like 80s, yes. I think a movie star sort of like transcends the decades and stuff. Like Tom Hanks has been there since the 80s. Like Denzel's been there since like the 90s, I guess, for the most part.
I want the panel to chime in on that, but I also want the chat to chime in. Do you agree or disagree with Paigey on that one? And I want everybody else to chime in as well.
I guess it depends on your definition of a movie star. I guess that's going to differ from person to person. I'd argue he is a movie star. Like, the whole conversation with Ross kind of coming in for Captain America 4 isn't, oh, hey, Ross is back. It's, oh, Harrison Ford is in a Marvel movie. Like, I feel like his name alone is kind of getting people like, oh, okay, I know this actor from A, B, C, and D, and that's going to intrigue people. I don't know, but like, I do think those two things are blending a little bit. Like, I there's been conversations in the past about like, are characters and actors blending together in this weird kind of way. So,
like, is he Harrison Ford or is he Han Solo?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that's the thing. I think there's also the distinction because I think I've seen like other people debate it as well or bring up the topic, and it's like, is there a distinction between an A-list actor and a movie star? So an A-list actor is someone like Daniel Day-Lewis, but he's not a movie star. He's not going to sell $200 million at the box office, for example.
Yeah.
An A-list actor would be like, I don't know,
someone that's always up for
Emily
awards.
Bent Ricards, like someone like that.
No, are you an idiot? Like Meryl Streep, for example, is an A-list actor, but I know she's a movie star because I know she sells
Stephen Amell,
200.
Stephen Amell, an A-list movie star.
Well, for you went and saw that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie about 12 times, so you made
actually
half
wasn't bad in that. He wasn't bad. He was just a movie that didn't do well. He was good in the role.
Yeah, the movie. Well, I thought the second one was better than the first one.
Yeah, but it didn't do well.
Because it wasn't trying to be so like Michael Bay, Zack Snyder coded. Like it was just trying to be a silly Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
3 Dogs.
It's hard though. Like it's hard when there's no like. Because now there's not really that many like what would quintessentially be called movie stars in the past, like in the 2000s, 90s, 80s, and stuff like that. So it's hard because the definition is changing,
Ezra Miller.
which is I think is where
for sure.
Which I think is where that conversation started when we talked about it. Was it last
Jared
year
Leto,
or 2 years ago or something
Jared
like
Leto.
that? Like yeah. So like there's like the only person I can think of at the moment that is a movie star in this like that's come up in the past couple of years is probably Timothée Chalamet, just because. But even then, like it's hard because he's like he hasn't done like that much solo stuff, if that makes sense. It's made a lot, but he's headed up franchises.
3 Dub, any thoughts?
I think he is a movie star. He's not. Okay. He gets paid to do movies, so he's a movie star.
See, definitions. All 4 of us have different definitions of what a movie star is. It's pretty interesting.
I would say someone that's not a movie star is someone that isn't a part of the organization that protects them.
Well, I've just gone down a very sit on the fence with a picket on my ass line because that's awful, that definition. That's like, well, yeah, Diddy is therefore a movie star. He was in movies.
Nope.
Diddy Reloaded.
Defunct says most people I know don't know Timothée Chalamet from a bar of soap.
That's what I mean. Like he's like in regards to a current one, it's him and then maybe Zendaya.
Yeah.
They're the only 2 I can think of. Like in regards to someone that's like under 30.
What about Zac Efron?
Yeah, he's a movie star.
I said under 30.
I mean, he looks under 30. Does that count? Are you being ageist, Pagey?
Yes. Incredibly, extremely.
But even like Zac Efron, like I feel like not that many people know Zac Efron. They know Troy.
What the?
Right? Like,
no, they know Zac Efron. They know Troy.
But like when they think of Zac Efron, they don't know about Zac Efron. They're thinking about their experiences with Troy. Like
I
they
thought you were about like
I will.
That was Brad Pitt.
I will say I've seen 20 of his films, so I know more than Troy Bolton. So
has Zac Efron been in 20 movies? I can think of like
yes, he's been in The Neighbors.
Yeah, there's 3 High School Musicals. There's 3 Greatest Showman. There's 4, and
Iron Claw.
Neighbors. Oh yeah, he's an Iron Claw.
Fall Guy.
17 again.
Was he in Fall Guy?
No.
I was gonna say, no, he wasn't. Did he have a cameo at the beginning?
He was in Baywatch.
He
did like that documentary series thing, right, on like Disney Plus. He was like a
the Netflix one
or something. Oh yeah, it was something.
Look, see, people are naming off things in the chat. 17 again.
17 again's
He was also in one of my personal favorites, Charlie St. Cloud.
I've never heard of that.
Is that about a cloud?
It's about basically he is a Marine that gets saved by oh wait, that's the wrong one. There's a second one that's really good. The lucky one is
one of your favorite movies.
The lucky one is about him being
my favorite movie is Star Wars, the one where the Hobbit and his character Gollum fight over everything.
The lucky one movies? The lucky one is basically him being saved by a picture while he was in the Marines, and he goes to find the girl that's in the picture. That the girl turns out to be the brother of the person that died.
Wouldn't you catch a case if that happened nowadays? I think you'd probably get arrested for that.
That sounds crazy. Like that sounds absolutely crazy.
It's a heartwarming story. Basically, his brother saved
random words in a row that don't correlate to each other.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like restraining order and potential like jail time.
He basically got blown up in Iraq, and the picture saved him.
Oh, okay. Well,
what's the picture? Like
a picture is of the person that died and the sister. He goes to the town where she's from and basically tries to thank him.
So wait, did you just spoil this whole movie for us before we ever?
Oh yeah, I was gonna watch it. What are you doing? I was gonna watch it because
it's from 2000. It's from way back. If you missed it, you missed it.
Oh, there we
2012.
Naruto, team member for 31 months, chiming in here with a member chat. Wedding advice for Kyle and Chrissy: don't let someone announce "Do us next" after your wedding is over. Okay, there we go. Good advice, Naruto.
By the way, Eric, while we got a pause here, have you had any songs stuck in your head this week? None. I've only had one today. The everybody's working for the weekend.
Was that on a commercial or something?
Yeah, I was on an ad break or something like that, and I was like, "Fuck, that song's too catchy." Now I haven't heard that song in ages.
The only song I've been thinking about this whole week, which oddly enough I don't really hear it as much anymore, is "Espresso" by Sabrina Carpenter.
I fucking hate that song. I fucking hate it. It is so shit, and it's on like it's because it's like just like so shit. It's so shit. It is so bad.
Nintendo,
oh, by the way,
down, left, right. It's got that in there.
I don't know. I've only heard the chorus. I'll tell you what though,
because
someone brought up the KSI thing last week, and I keep jumping into like the rabbit hole.
We can't watch it because he'll copyright your channel. So
and he doesn't know why the song isn't being well received, and I was like, I think it's pretty obvious. Like, you know, when people release songs and even movies, like movie styles, and they're dated, they're like just 5-6 years too late.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of song you released, and like you get movies now, like Netflix movies are really full and stuff.
KSI's song sounds like an EDM song from 2015.
It sounds like a Marshmello song.
Yeah, and but old Marshmello, not new Marshmello.
No, not Marshmello. Like when he was doing like I don't even know, like that Bastille song or something, like around that era.
Cody, you saw Sabrina in concert this past Sunday. That's great.
Did you get a refund?
Really good. She probably sang "Please, Please."
Oh god, is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
I fucking hate that song as well.
Cal chiming in with the 99-cent super chat, just showing some support. Thank you so much, Cal. I do appreciate it.
Did you see the Rodrigo thing where she like fell into the stage?
That was in Australia.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they like forgot to close one of the stage things. There's a giant hole in the stage, and she falls in the hole during the concert.
Oh my god!
I think it's one of those ones where that's how they come out.
Yeah.
It's like a lift almost, like that they come onto the stage on or something like that.
I mean, that thing could have been like 20 or 30
amazingly.
feet. So. Oh, does she? Okay.
Yeah, because she falls in. She's like, "That was fun. I don't know how that happened. Let's just go." Like she just continues like it's nothing. It's like that's so good.
She probably has like. She probably talks about it after, like, basically your focus when you're doing a concert because you don't want to disappoint your fans.
You want to know what's not good?
Uh-oh.
Shit show?
Finish what you were saying, Darren, though, about the whole...
Oh, I was satisfied.
So I saw this the other day. I was going to make a video about it, but then I was like, I'm going to wait and talk about it on live stream. Because this is crazy to me. This whole thing is so crazy. So
Hold on.
Serves him right.
Your fucking thing is just reminding me to check something. Okay, then don't worry. I needed the Dodgers to win my multi, so it's all good. Okay. I was like, fuck, I didn't check on that.
All right, for anybody that's keeping up with the CW, this is probably going to be the last year for pretty much all of us watching this network. I don't think anybody is going to continue to watch it after Superman and Lois because there's nothing left, really.
What about Joan?
No. Well, that'll end before Superman and Lois does.
What about... is it Wranglers? Is that the show? I saw it advertised.
That reality. Yeah, no.
Is it Wranglers?
Actually, when we were watching that the other night, we were sitting there and all of us were like, well, except for me because I knew it was a thing. They were like, "What the fuck show is that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's like we're not going to be watching that show."
It's the same thing.
So the CW president steps down 2 years after Nexstar takeover. Entertainment chief Brad Schwartz to claim top spot. Now, he was the one they brought in that was just there to sort of come up with ideas for the kind of programming they should use. Going through analytics and stuff. He was the one that was notorious for getting a few hits here and there, like Schitt's Creek. But that was a weird thing where it got popular during COVID and everybody found out about the show. Yeah. So it wasn't really him that did anything. It was just the fact that the show got picked up and people liked it and it took off. It really wasn't on him at all. He didn't have anything to do with the production of the show.
So literally the guy was just there to wreck the CW and then leave?
No. I think there's more to this story, to be honest, but we've got let me click over to the article here.
That's what it feels like.
Says here, CW president steps down 2 years after Nexstar takeover, blah, blah, blah. We already saw that. Dennis Miller, not the comedian, who has served as a network president ever since the CW was acquired and taken over by Nexstar Media Group in October 2022, is stepping down from the top post effective October 31st. So on Halloween.
Scary.
Brad Schwartz, the CW's current entertainment chief, will rise to the rank of network president upon Miller's exit from the position, which is a great move for him because that's probably a position he's never held. I don't know. I mean, he's qualified to do it. I have no clue what this is going to look like in the end, but Miller, as network president, oversaw the CW's strategic transformation into a destination for live sports, as well as entertainment programming. This fall alone, the network has debuted WWE, NXT Wrestling, and NASCAR Xfinity Racing to complement its coverage of ACC college football, basketball, Pac-12 football, and Live Golf. I feel like a couple of those were Band-Aids to the problem. Like they decided to do that, like with the golf stuff and everything, to sort of try and mitigate the damage. And then they just fell into this spiral of, we just want to do sports and tabletop game TV shows. Because we have like Scrabble and what are some of the other ones they have?
Dictionary.
Trivial Pursuit. I mean, it's just weird thing that they did. And then I was thinking, like, wasn't there a big announcement? Paige, were you going to say something?
No, I just burped.
Oh. Wasn't there a big announcement? I was like, there had to have been a big announcement. So I started digging through some of the articles here about this situation over here on the Hollywood Reporter. And it says here, the decision is a surprising one, which I thought was I thought it was kind of surprising as well, with Miller signing a multi-year contract extension last year. that would have kept him atop the network through 2027. So something changed in 1 year's time where he looked at where the network was and what this was going to look like for him, and he jumped ship. Because there's no mention of what he's doing next. Like, there's been no announcement that he's leaving here to go work at XYZ. Like, he's just leaving. And to me, that's a big red flag. Because why would you fight for an extension and then if everything's going good, you're like, no, I'm getting the fuck out of here? Why would you do that? Something is off. I feel like something must be wrong behind the scenes, money-wise. And it says down here, I've had front row seats during this remarkable 11-year run with Nexstar and enjoying navigating a period of significant transformation for the network. With some of the highest ratings the CW has seen in years, which, by the way, are due to the live sporting events.
Yeah. And
long-term contracts with an array of premium live sports in place, the future of the CW looks very promising. So that's him sort of talking about what he did. Like these were my accolades with the network, which means what did Brad Schwartz do? Bring back Whose Line Is It Anyway and cancel a bunch of shows? Almost all the scripted TV they've acquired has either been shifted around on the network or canceled or moved directly to their streaming platform. I don't think anything that they've produced has been a massive hit since Nexstar took over.
I think the only thing that's been a mild success is Wildcards, because I think that is a. But I don't know how well that rates consistently. I know they made a big thing of like, oh, it rated the same as the Flash or something, but they used like one specific Flash episode. That was a filler episode or some shit like that. Like they didn't use like a premiere or finale or something. Like they used like one specific Flash episode as a reference, I think.
Mm-hmm. That was like season 9 too, right? That was like
it was like the same year. It was like this sure, I guess it was shortly after the Flash ended or something like that. But it was like one episode or something. It was like a weird. It was a weird reference. I think a lot of people sort of called them out for it. Like that's not a way to like cherry pick your reference there.
Go check like Flash season 1 ratings versus like Wildcard season 1 ratings.
Right. So earlier this year, Brad Schwartz did an interview with Hollywood Reporter, and this is what he said. And I think this is interesting. We've improved our earnings by 100 million this year. I think we've improved our earnings by over 200 million. I think we've improved our earnings by over 200 million in 2 years. So this team is really hitting on all cylinders. We've had 3 consecutive quarters of ratings growth, and we're doing it more efficiently, and we're doing it with a smaller team. So you have to understand that is a big reason why.
Yeah.
They got rid of a chunk of people, a lot of people. Not to mention they got rid of their in-house team for producing. Like that team was gone. Anything that wasn't reality TV was out the door. So all of that stuff they kicked them out. It's kind of us against the Titans. We're the underdog, and it's going really well. So I think if we continue on this track and we play a little Moneyball, which, by the way, Moneyball means looking at analytics and Paige, you've seen the movie Moneyball, right? You know what that is.
It's also a movie that's sort of been, that whole system has sort of been debunked in regards to...
It doesn't work.
Yeah, like they try to specify that thing, but I mean, by the way, that team that movie was based off just got shifted out of the place that they went because no one was going to games, and the legacy is not that great with that whole system.
Basically it's a way of looking at numbers and analytics to try and build the best possible strategy, and it just doesn't work when it comes to stuff like this. It just, they think it does. Obviously it's not working because they've had to move things around since he's been there. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But again, this was earlier in the year, so this isn't now. This was in the past. Play a little Moneyball and really put good content on the air, do it efficiently, and keep growing our ratings. And now we've added, an incredible amount of sports, 500 hours of sports from zero. It's all kind of pushing us in the right direction. Why do they want to be ESPN when there's a million ESPN channels? I don't totally understand that. I mean, yes, you're making money from brand deals and things like that, but the channel isn't really it's basically a sports channel now. Superman and Lois is on a sports network, essentially. I also want to remind everybody that these are the shows that were canceled when they took over. Yeah. Initially, this was the first block of shows that were gone. Legends of Tomorrow, Dynasty, Charmed, Legacies, In the Dark, Roswell, Nancy Drew, Walker, Batwoman, Kung Fu, Stargirl, 4400, Naomi, Tom Swift, Walker Independence, The Winchesters, and Gotham Knights all wiped out.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out, like, Naomi was chosen over, maybe it was Gotham Knights that was chosen over really intriguing TV shows.
And it's so weird to like buy a company or buy a network that is known for its franchises, is known for having these dedicated fan bases. I assume that was the interest as far as like, oh, people have this massive following over here. They're a small following, but they're a dedicated one. And then like you have things like Winchesters and the Arrowverse and even stuff like Walker, I feel like had such dedicated fan bases, and now it's just like, well,
and it wasn't like the numbers were bad. Stuff like the Walker and Winchesters were both well received. So
I think the CW shows would have done so much better with just better promotion. Like I think if more people just knew they existed, they would have done. Like I think Winchesters was one I was always so shocked about that it didn't do better because it's like it's a spinoff to one of the most popular shows in the world. I thought people would be thrilled to watch it. I straight up think most Supernatural fans don't know it even exists. Like I think people just don't know it even happened.
I also think the CW. Go ahead, 3 up. Sorry.
I also think that they purposely did not promote any of these shows because they wanted to cancel them.
Remember when Nexstar said buying the CW would lead to more DC shows? Yeah, that was a lie. Also, I think that the beauty of the CW, it was running in debt for a reason. And the reason why, and we've gone over this so many times, is the CW as a network was never intended to generate profit for anybody. It was meant to be a platform for deal brands, like moving stuff to Netflix, moving stuff to Hulu, moving stuff to Max. That was what the intention was for the CW. Yeah. So that's why we had the $1 billion deal with Arrow and Flash back, when Netflix picked them up and DC or Warner Brothers made $1 billion off of that. And also, I actually think that the net benefit for the CW was people started watching the shows live after they binged them on Netflix. So you got this bump in an audience from watching it on Netflix to live television. And even if they didn't watch it live, you're still getting the money from Netflix for the people that are watching it as a binge. Yeah. So there's this situation where it was a really great relationship, and that's why they were able to do it. When Nexstar came in and they took over that debt, I don't think they understood, or at least based on what they're doing, the way they're scrambling to make things work, I don't think they truly understood what that business model was. They wanted to make money off of these shows, these productions that cost a lot of money to make between CBS and Warner Brothers, and they didn't have the collateral for that because they were already in debt when they came in and took over the company. And now they got all these sporting events. It's almost like they didn't even want this network. Like, why did they want the CW? Why would you take this network? What would be the purpose? You could have created your own network with Nexstar and just made it a live sports network if that's what you wanted to do. I don't understand why they would take over the CW and destroy their fan base completely. I mean, it just seems weird. It's like taking over somebody's YouTube channel because it's got a bunch of subscribers and changing all the content. Yeah. Those subscribers don't mean anything at that point. So
they wanted that name recognition. And I feel like the name recognition wasn't even that good. Like obviously it had a lot of popular fans, but when people hear CW, they don't think, oh, I love that network. It's oh, that's the thing I used to watch when I was 12 that sometimes didn't make the best content.
Right.
Like there wasn't, you're right. There isn't really a benefit to it. You may as well start over, make your own name for yourself for a network that makes good content, that puts out good.
Because you're going to get bad press from people like us that loved what it was. You're not going to get good press from us. We're not going to be like, yay, sports, more sports. Right. Nothing on the network said sports. The closest thing we had was All American. And that was about a sporting show. It was about kids in sports. So, yeah. No surprise, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I don't see a good reason for doing this because all the value in the CW, as far as I can tell, was in the shows, was in the IP. And if you don't own the IP, if these aren't your shows, you've lost all that value. So it's absolutely baffling to me. Absolutely baffling. Moving on, Joker, Folle Adieu to Poo Poo, will be submitted for consideration in the comedy music categories at the Golden Globes. That's interesting. It's also coming to streaming in like a week and a half.
That's crazy.
The conspiracy theories around this film are so funny. I've heard people talking about Todd Phillips made the movie just to piss people off, and that he hated all the fans of the first Joker. Like, what? It's like tinfoil hat shit.
I think
you think it's going to win any awards? Oh, God. Yeah.
I think he made the movie that he wanted to make, and people didn't like it. And that happens. That's fine. Like, we don't have to like it. He had a vision. I think he made his vision. It felt like his directing style. I think he did what he wanted to. He clearly didn't listen to James Gunn or any of the other people at DC that maybe.
Well, he came out and said he had full control over it. He said that they didn't do anything.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes it's okay just to make a bad movie. Like, it happens. It is what it is. It just sucks for the DC brand right now that they've lost all this money.
A man puts a chair on fire at Joker 2 screening in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The 32-year-old man acted in protest to draw the attention of the artist Lady Gaga after she didn't come to Brazil. He promised he would do more damage if she doesn't come. Wow.
This is like Firefly from Batman.
It's a real-life villain. So remember all of the drama around Joker before it came out that it was going to have like this threat of violence or something? And they had like police officers waiting at the screenings. And then it ends up Brazil was in on it all along. They were just waiting for the right opportunity to go in and like set things on fire in movie theaters. So, I mean, I guess they didn't catch him. He said he promised he'd do more if she didn't come, or maybe they did. Wait a minute, how can he make threats like that? Is this like some? I need to know more of the story. Like, is he on the internet doing this like under a fake name or something? I don't totally understand.
So wait, did he like Lady Gaga, or did he dislike Lady Gaga?
So it's a Lady Gaga fan who is mad that she didn't tour in Brazil, I guess.
What does she expect to happen when she shows up? Just be like, oh, my biggest fan. She's going to be like, no, you threatened me if I didn't come to this event. Like, it's not going to go well for you, buddy. She's going to hate you if you ever meet her. Like, so weird.
Silhouette Animator with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Silhouette Animator. 200 million lost. That's the film's budget. Yeah. So that is the projected amount that it's going to lose, which is pretty much the entire film. It's a wash. They're not going to make any money out of this.
Scrapped the whole movie.
So they got rid of Batgirl and Looney Tunes to try and save money, but they put this out. They put out that Flash movie. They've done all these films now that have lost them a ton of money. When the ones that people probably would have gone and seen, like Looney Tunes, they didn't go and see it.
Acne would have made money. I think it would have made way more than Joker.
I'm going to tell everybody right now, and listen to me when I say this, do not go into the theaters and do this. This is not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. I don't know, Paige, have you ever done something you regret in a movie theater? That's a loaded question.
Well, I've told you the thing where the guy pissed on the floor because he couldn't be bothered going to the toilet.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Have you personally ever done anything?
No, I didn't. I spectated. I don't know. When I was in like year 9, so I was like what 15 or something, we used to go to the movies like maybe not every weekend, but like it was a somewhat cheaper thing to do, I guess. One of our mates used to always bring a rugby ball, and we used to always play like touch football in like like a theater. At the front, there's like a massive gap between the screen and the front things.
Yeah.
After a movie, it would always play there. And I remember once someone decided to just thunderfuck the ball, just kick it, and it hit the screen, and there was drama. And let's just say,
did you guys get kicked out?
Well, he got in trouble, so he wasn't allowed in that movie theater. It was actually okay because it was a movie theater that we usually wouldn't go to anyway. We only went there because one person was like, it's too long on the bus. So we were like, we'll go to you then. So actually it ended up being too much of a drama there, but yeah. Don't know if it damaged the screen. I don't know. Does it hurt the screen? Is that like a bad thing? I don't know.
I'm assuming it's like a projector screen. It's a projector screen.
Yeah, but it's not like it went through. It's not like it was like
No. Well, if you would have, I'll be honest. There's screens that I've been to, like movie screens, where you can see they've taped it and they don't care. There's just tape on the screen.
Well, you just see it's like just a little mark now. What's going on there?
Naruto, Team Eric member with the $2 super chat. Think Joker 2 will be nominated for Razzies. Are Razzies still around?
Yeah,
but they don't get as much.
Nobody cares
press.
about them anymore,
Yeah.
I feel.
Because
Unless it's something like really controversial, like that year they made fun of the kid or something, then they get press. But
or if the person that's nominated actually goes and gets the award. But even then, that hasn't happened for ages, like 10 years or something. I think was the last time someone did it.
Lady Gaga just goes for some reason.
Yeah, just for the meme.
Just the meme. Why not?
Maybe we'll see Naruto. Still what I am in with a $2 super chat. Yes, a perfectly good. Yes, thank you for the $2. I've already been like distraught about that. Perfectly good wedding. It sounds to me like it's going to be nothing but wedding. That's what I think. That's my prediction. Is that'll be.
I wonder if Clark and Lois are going to get married again because he's alive again.
Oh yeah, that might be cool, right? What if everyone gets married to somebody in this episode? Like it's all just wedding bells.
John and Lois Lane. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sarah and Jordan.
I thought you were talking about John as in her son. I'm like,
no,
what are you thinking
I meant
about?
John. John Henry. I'm sorry.
That went south.
Yeah, well, blame Darren, not man.
Heyo.
All right, here we go. Next topic is about the Acolyte. So, Carrie Ann Moss came out and talked about the cancellation. She says, this is her talking about the shows, specifically the show's cancellation. It's funny because, you know, when being an actor, you're in shows all the time that are canceled and it's in the beginning. It's kind of a bummer. And then you just learn to not really be invested. You can't be. It's a protection mechanism. So it's like sort of, oh, okay, it was over already for me. I'm glad you liked it, though. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that, too. So this is what people say about actors, that they're not committed to their roles. And she's pointing out that you can't really get too committed because then you end up with disappointment if something doesn't get renewed. So
why would she care? Spoiler, she's died on the show. Like she's like the worst person to ask about. Okay, it's like asking someone after, like, oh, you're gonna eat that after they've dropped their sandwich all on the floor and it's covered in ants. I'm like, obviously fucking not. It's destroyed. Like I have nothing to do with it now. So
yeah, she wasn't coming back either way.
Yeah, so I don't think she would. I don't know why she was specifically. I guess it's literally just because of the article, so they could get an article from it.
Well, I think they were talking to her about other stuff as well, and that was one of the questions. But yes, you're right. But the thing about it is, she could still be in something else, right? Like she could be in another project. Yeah,
I guess so. But it wouldn't be the Acolyte. So at the end of the day, she wouldn't care anyway. It's like, well,
exactly. That's my whole point. Like I think if the Acolyte does continue, because even though they might not get a season 2, I am under the firm belief that we will see some of these characters again at some point, because look at how long there have been gaps between characters in the original Star Wars that come back now, or in the prequels that come back now. I think we'll see some of these characters again. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a while, but I do think they're going to have their like Hayden Christensen moment where it's like, oh, we were actually wrong. We're like, or they grow a fan base over a number of years and they'll have their moment where like, oh, the crowd of people are cheering for me. This project did connect to people on at least a certain level. And we'll see some of those castbacks in like 5, 6, 7 years or so. I do think it has to happen eventually.
3W, did you watch Acolyte yet?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Did you like it?
I still think, like, in my head, I'm believing for a fact that X-23 has a whole race that looks like her, so I'd never actually lose her.
You're talking about Jackie, right?
Yeah, Jackie.
Okay.
I want the entire race to look like X-23, and then I'm good.
All right, so this is another one that popped up today, and I was like, well, I don't know if it was today for sure, but I saw it today. Judd Apatow concerned about heartbreaking decline of film and TV production in California. And I noticed a lot of people not understanding what he was talking about. They were like, oh, because Hollywood is woke now and blah, 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 and all this stuff. They obviously didn't read the article, which I did read the article because that's what I do. I don't just click on headlines. But he talks about the fact that Hollywood or California doesn't offer the same kind of tax credits that other places do. Like Georgia
like
and yeah. Like you can film things in other places and you save a bunch of money. Yeah, exactly. And Hollywood has not done anything like that. There's still what I think Los Angeles and New York are probably the two most expensive places to film in the world. Probably. Maybe London. I think London also has tax incentives too. But I'm not sure.
But I think that's to film in the studios, not on the actual street.
Okay. I do know that the filming that takes place in Los Angeles and New York are extremely expensive, which is why those movies' budgets inflate the way they do a lot of times. So he's talking about the fact that people are making movies in other places except for Hollywood, and that production, like people that lived in Hollywood, you know what I mean? Like the extras and the sound people, the lighting people, the businesses,
just like catering
yeah,
businesses and stuff like that. Yeah.
They are not making as much money. They're not being used as much because Hollywood is being left in the dust by these other places that are offering more incentives. And I also think, like, if you look like in Australia, where Marvel films a lot of stuff now because of their studio there, you have places that are like, we have options. We don't have to film in Los Angeles anymore. We can go to Vancouver. We can go to Sydney. We can go to Georgia. We can go to New Zealand. There's all these places they can film at. And, you know, a lot of people that live in Hollywood don't like that. It seems like there's a group of people that are upset because that's where the ballooning budget goes, is to these productions that go overseas, and they save the studios a bunch of money. So it lowers that incentive for people to come and film in Los Angeles. And we saw that with Supergirl. That's a prime example of a show that was affected by this in a small way, because Supergirl, when it was on, I believe it was NBC was the original network it was on, wasn't it? NBC?
CBS.
Was it CBS?
Yeah.
CBS.
When it was on CBS originally, which I did not watch it when it was on CBS. I watched it after it came over to CW. But on CBS, they were filming in Los Angeles. It was super expensive. When they moved the show and started filming in Vancouver, the production, all the costs dropped. Things got a lot cheaper for them. And they never really went back again. It just didn't make a lot of sense for them. That's why they call Vancouver like Hollywood North, because a lot of productions move up there. Actually, Paigey, this kind of ties back to the CW stuff, with the fact that a lot of the shows and productions that would go up to Vancouver to film, now the CW's gone, that affects their business as well. Like, the filming that's going to go on up there.
One thing I found funny was Martian Manhunter's quality dropped as soon as I went to CW Vancouver. Like, if you look at the episode 5 when he shows his face, transforming, that effect was like high budget. But when you go to CW, it's bad CGI.
Oh my god! Well, I always thought it was going to be hard to do Martian Manhunter in CGI anyway, but they didn't want to put him in makeup every time they did it. But practical effects are always cheaper. They're always cheaper than post effects VFX. So we do have a super chat. Let me drop this down for a second. Silhouette Animator with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, Silhouette Animator. Hollywood execs cutting corners to keep a death grip on their millions and billions of dollars of their net worth remaining the same. Yeah. But also, if you look at somewhere like Georgia, Georgia's a little slice of Hollywood has increased their revenue as a state, because they've been able to make money from all the things that Los Angeles is losing, like catering, like Paigey was saying. All the people that don't want to live in Los Angeles because it's more expensive to live there can now live in Atlanta and do the job that they want to do in Atlanta instead of being there. It's an interesting shift, and a lot of it has to do also with streaming shows and streaming brands, because they don't have to film in Los Angeles anymore either.
Has the CW actually got rid of the debt once Nexstar took over, or is it still in debt?
No, I don't think they have. I think they're still in debt. I'd have to double check, but I don't think so.
Well, the debt was the purchase price,
right? So they're just still paying off the loan on that.
So they're just the money that is there. So,
all right, let us move on to. Oops! Wait, hold on. Was this the next one? Oh, this is the big one. Well, not what's one of the big ones. It's the thumbnail. Zack Snyder.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
Does Batman have sex? My version of Batman definitely did. But this isn't always the case. Learn more about Batman's sex life in this article from Inverse.com superhero issue, guest edited by me. And I read this. I'm going to click over so you can kind of see. This was a long read. This is a very, 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 very long. Let me just scroll through the article here about Batman's
Catwoman
sex life. They talked about how on Harley Quinn they couldn't show the scenes they wanted to show, where he was having some sort of relationship with Catwoman and all this stuff. I didn't realize there was this many things that they wanted Batman to do in terms of sex until I read this article, and then I was like, oh, there was a lot. There was a lot going on here. So my question to the panel and to the chat is, do we really care about this? Is this something that we think about when we're reading stories about superheroes? Are we thinking about who they're with, how it goes? Because you don't have to admit to it here. And I'm not looking for details, right? It's the internet. Everything can be turned into something prawn, basically. Everything can be prawn, right? Was it Rule 42 or whatever that statement is? So I realize there's something for everybody. But as a viewer, does it enrich your experience watching a movie, a TV show, reading a book where they do go that far with the characters?
So,
does it matter to you or does it matter?
So going with example, Killing Joke, I wasn't expecting it. Going in the movie, I wasn't expecting Batman and Batgirl to have a relationship in that movie.
The Killing Joke animated.
Yeah,
movie.
so okay. It wasn't in my headspace going, hey, I'm watching Batman, like having action scenes and then going into this relationship. I wasn't expecting a relationship because that I'd never seen before. So I wasn't like looking for it.
Darren.
I think it depends on the person. Like I do think it's going to come across very weird, but I do think sex is a very important to certain characters in their journeys, and I think it can be very important of how characters express each other and how, what they mean to each other. I do think it can be important. I think the interesting thing with Batman, though, is because he is such a specific, how he interprets relationships is such a big part of his character. So I do feel like when he does do that, it's a very big moment for him because that's not something I feel like he's typically getting into. So
I will.
Good.
I will say, with the Dark Knight Rises, we know there is no Damian Wayne in that universe. Because she died.
The Funk has a really good point. Like when he has Damian, that is a big part of the Batman story.
Yes.
It's just kind of important to show, not show, but imply
so
at least.
That brings up the question of implied relationships and literal stuff. If a character is shown, you do a time jump, right? And they have 2 kids or something, that it happened, but are you necessarily thinking about it actively, or is it just something in the back of your mind? And so there is a situation where some people probably think about it. We've had a few chats from a regular viewer in here that likes to super chat about Iris and Barry, but they're not here right now.
Speaking of that, with Nora just appearing, I didn't honestly think about how she came about because the forefront was, she's from the future. So that was the first thing I thought of. I wasn't thinking about how she came about because obviously it's been told to me how it happened, so I don't need to see it.
Paigey, any thoughts from you?
It's just I think it's.
I'm afraid I'm even asking this question to you, but go ahead.
Well, I just find it weird how people in a specific movie, if they reference it, and of course, fair enough, if it's on your mind, or whatever. But I feel like the fascination, Snyder seems fetishized about it. It's how big is
he's
Batman's
been criticized
office?
for a certain type
thinking.
of. Yes, but he's also been criticized for having a certain SA in a lot of his movies and things like that, where he had it in Rebel Moon. It's an ongoing thing with him.
My whole thing is if you really want to address it and stuff, then fair enough. But I feel like probably 99 times out of 100, it's not needed in any sort of context. You don't have to show if it's the only thing is if it's literally a couple and you feel there's a need to show that side of their lives or whatever it might be, Green Arrow and Black Canary, if you really want to show that. But even then, you're paying the movie to see that. Superheroes. I don't care what they.
Well, this article
5 to 9
also goes into this here, like the idea of the gay relationships between Batman and some of his sidekicks. There's a lot of discussions about the
but a lot of those, like a lot of the people
Manor.
that point to those are very like pedophilic as well. The way that they sort of point to it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I think if you start thinking about that, it's more of a question mark on you as a person and where your fucking mind starts to go.
I didn't like the what Zack Snyder was going to do about the 3-way triangle of Batman and Lois.
Yeah.
And
that was just shit. I don't think that really had anything too much to do with
the show. Ultimately swapped OS for a foot massage. That was Harley Quinn, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, here's my take on this. If somebody feels like it's important enough to the story that it has to be there, I don't have an issue with that. I feel like if it is something where, oh, look, here's Batman and Robin. Oh, look, looks like you spoke too soon. There's a bat signal calling Batman and Robin. And that means here we go again. Look, the heat lamps are in here tanning.
I just feel like this is such a...
Wait. They were in the same bed? What? Wait. I'm not suggesting anything, but what the fuck is the context?
And also, whoever decided to do the coloring on this, keep inside the fucking lines. What's going on there?
Anyway, Darren, what were you saying? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's
Blind
fine.
Freddy or Stevie Wonder.
I just feel like this whole thing is such a, like, these conversations I do think are a bit childish, because, like, this is a very normal part of life, and I think dissecting it to this degree is very, like...
You mean this article here? Like the
Yes,
article?
Like, I think it's almost very sad behavior just to be like, but what does it mean? Like, it seems like
an article for
keep in mind, this is
article.
from Zack Snyder. He's the editor of this piece here.
Well, I think he's a guest editor. Like, they probably going to write the article.
But they brought him in for this topic specifically.
It's very,
because he posted that photo
energy.
of
like someone, I don't know. It's weird to me. I don't know. Just like let it happen. I don't know why we need to dissect it to this degree.
Oh my god, this is crazy here. For as long as Batman has haunted the streets of Gotham, questions about his sexuality have been dominated the zeitgeist. Depending on who you ask, gayness is built into the Bat brand, even if his title hero has only ever dated women. Batman is very, very gay, Grant Morrison famously told Playboy in 2012. I think that's why people like it. But is that these women fancy him, and they all wear fetish clothes. I mean, this is the joke from The Boys, right? Like the idea of Batman having like a dungeon and everything, and I mean that was the whole gimmick, the joke. But
he was essentially Diddy.
Everything comes back to Diddy for you. Everything, it's all Diddy for you.
Well, it's Diddy Reloaded. I mean,
it's Diddy Reloaded. That's the story of the after Diddy.
Yeah, again, my final take on this, I'm not going to look at it while I scroll up because I'll get distracted again. My final take on this is that I feel if it's not important to the story and you're including it just for shock value, it's probably not worth having in the story. That's just my opinion on it. So,
and he has the money to buy baby oil. Commenting on something from the chat.
Oh my god. All right, moving on from that, let's talk about some Venom stuff. We ready for Venom?
Venom.
I know Pagey's not ready because he's not going. But Daniel RPK here says...
Is Eminem doing a song for this one?
Probably not. He's got a new album out anyway. They'll probably just use a song from the album. Or they'll probably use a Drake song or a Kanye song. That's what they always do.
Maybe Diddy's
No, like not everything is Diddy.
You set up the joke.
Not everyone. Jeez. Daniel RPK here says, I spoke to people, like, here we go. This is the I spoke to people. I spoke to people who saw Venom 3. They enjoyed the first two movies, but told me they didn't like the third one. Take that as you will.
Well, that's a concerning sign because the second one's not very good. So.
I was wondering if you were going to say that.
Wow, he spoke to 7.3 billion people.
Well, 7.3 billion didn't watch those two Venom movies.
I mean, like, he didn't get everyone, so it's not fair compare. Like,
well, you look at Happy Knight. Happy Knight's got his head screwed on. Let's be real. Let There Be Carnage kind of sucked. Kind of might be very generous in this.
I will say, like, for me, Venom 2 was mid. It wasn't better than the first one, but at the same time, it did have its good moments.
Well,
But overall,
I'll find out next week for sure. All right.
Specifically, the one that
is your hat a marshmallow hat, Eric?
Huh?
Yeah, his hat is the marshmallow hat.
Is it marshmallow?
It's probably a knockoff marshmallow.
Okay, no, I was just wondering. I wasn't because marshmallow was brought up before.
I'm not repping KSI's marshmallow song, so it's not happening. So Venom: The Last Dance is tracking to earn $70 million on its domestic box office opening weekend, the lowest opening of the trilogy. Which is crazy because I think this one looks like it's the most comic booky out of all of them.
That might be why it's. I think
a lot of the time
stuff being overly comic booky doesn't appeal
my God, Paige,
straight out of the gate.
You just fucking injected some stuff into this.
Venom jizz. Yeah.
Venom jizz. You just injected some of that pizza black Venom jizz into this. I think that this movie, the advertising for this movie is calling out to the fans of Venom with Null and everything, and the general audience has no fucking idea.
You gotta balance your cards. You can't lean one way or completely one way and not like appeal to the general masses because like you watch that trailer and if you like, I don't know who Null is. I didn't read that because he's only recent as well. He's only been in the
it doesn't even matter though because apparently he's not going to be a big part of the movie. So
but they show that thing and then they show all these different creatures and stuff and it's like. It's also very much the same from the first two movies, but at least Carnage, like he'd been in the animated stuff, so like and like some of the video game stuff, so people sort of knew Carnage. But with this stuff, like I can understand why it might open lower, but also I don't think it probably helps that the second one was pretty arse. So it's like
I ran into people on Twitter who were Swedish and couldn't understand what Null meant. They was like, "Why is someone fucking?"
Is that what is that what that word means?
Yep, that's what it means. In English, it's
God. Oh my God. So anyway, speaking of that character, this is going to serve as the beginning for his story. The King in Black is way too powerful for one and done. So we're in a situation now where this means that if Null continues into the MCU, are we going to need to see the 3 Venom movies to understand this character, or are they going to bring him in and he just was introduced in this franchise and now he's going to have a role in the Spider-Man movies? I mean, I don't even know.
I would assume they would reintroduce to that audience who haven't seen anything. I'm more concerned if Venom is in that movie. Like if Tom Hardy's Venom were to go over to that film. I could imagine people would like, well, I love Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but I didn't watch any of the Venom movies, so I'm not going to go check out this one because I haven't seen him. And I could see that from certain people.
Paige,
is this playing on that John Pork thing?
No. Oh, maybe.
Am I the only? As soon as I saw this,
no. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know.
Is anyone else getting like a John Pork feel from this? Like,
have you seen this yet, Paige?
YouTube John Pork.
Well, I will, but have you seen this?
No, not you. I'm talking to 3W because he says he doesn't know what John Pork is.
John Pork is you have to YouTube it. Have you seen this though, Paige?
No.
So you guys get pizza with Venom jizz on it. This is what we get. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, look who come to me. What's poppin', boo? Oh, it's like that. That's why me and you
fucking chatting each other up.
I'll see you soon.
Venom: The Last Dance.
Okay, here's the big question with that, Eric. Did Megan Thee Stallion's latest record not do that well? Because why is she on the Pepsi ad and now that's the Pepsi ad wasn't amazing.
The new song she had out I guess a couple months ago. The only people that requested it were really young, basically barely 21-year-olds coming into the club. So I'm guessing that album is.
How does it go?
It's
I don't know if I probably heard it, but I don't know if I have.
What is this? Hold on, I'm trying to think about what the song
I think I have
is.
2 Megan Thee Stallion songs on my iTunes.
I think it's Mamushi was the name of the song.
Oh, is that the one? Oh, I fucking hate that song. It's like the Japanese one.
It's got a Japanese rapper in it. Yeah, I don't remember his name, but
yeah. That gets
but yeah,
that gets an
well.
instant skip, like sayonara whenever that comes on. Hasta la vista.
Yeah. So
Konnichiwa,
hey,
konnichiwa.
Welcome to the chat. So here's the thing. Remember all of the backlash that She-Hulk got for that end credit scene with Megan Thee Stallion in it? Marvel's like, yeah, we're just going to use her in the commercial for Venom 2, a movie that's already tracking.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so
I don't understand. So, like, if Marvel really gave a shit about what the internet would say about stuff, they would stay away from this. But Megan Thee Stallion is popular. She's extremely popular. But I don't know if her, like, street cred is where it used to be. Yeah, and it's also a different demographic. Yes, that as well.
Well, here's the thing. So, what's your... If you had to go going into it, what do you predict Venom 3 to be on a rating scale? Like 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10?
I mean, I'll be honest, the second one was kind of middle of the road for me. I thought it was just okay. I would say this one.
I just thought.
Wait, what are you doing now? You're laughing like Paige now. What are you laughing at?
I'm literally thinking about what could the end credit scene, and it's just Megan and Venom doing twerking.
I would fucking love that, because that would make so many people mad, and I would just laugh about it.
Because it's the last film, and they don't care.
Because people would love that. People would think that was hilarious, and that would show that double standard.
Yeah, yes, it would. And also, I think the general audience would probably laugh at it if they saw that in the theater. So, yeah.
Is the song Thought Shit? Is that the song?
That's like one of her first songs. That's one of her first songs.
What song from Megan Thee Stallion would you want in Venom 3? That Venom dances to, solo.
Her, probably.
Is that the song? It's called Her.
Her, yeah.
How does it go?
Her. I
wonder if I've heard it.
She.
There's great lyricism in this song.
Yeah, it's
very
cool
diverse.
That's literally how it goes. I'm not making that up. That's how the song
goes. Her.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. That's the way the song goes. All right.
So does Eric wants that as well, Zaya.
What? No, I don't. Why did I even look at that?
Baited.
Here we go. Gina Carano and Disney updates. # Mandalorian.
God damn it.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to talk about this. The information from the article is pretty much in this tweet thread, so we're not going to have to read the article. Thank goodness. It's a lot to read. Okay. So let me
actually hold on before we jump into the Gina Carano thing. I'm actually. Okay. You have to admit, now that we think about it, I know there's controversy around it and potential cancellation attempts, but I can see that you don't want it, Eric. But the more you think about it, and some of the trailers we've seen, I believe I Can Fly with R. Kelly in there would actually be a really suitable song for Venom, especially if they did put some like P. Diddy remix in there or something.
Okay, you want to hear something funny in reference to that? I was watching one of those Pop the Balloon or Find Love thingies here on YouTube.
Oh, God.
And the guy came on, and one of the ladies asked him what his favorite artists were, right? So he goes, and I kid you not, he goes, well, you know, I kind of like R&B, so I like Chris Brown. Oh, wait, no, I don't like Chris Brown, because Chris Brown got in trouble for beating up Rihanna. He's like, yeah, you know, I Believe I Can Fly, R. Kelly. Oh, wait, no, don't like R. Kelly either. He said, what's that song, Always Missing You, Diddy and Biggie. Oh, no, wait, I don't like that either. So he just stood there and everybody popped their balloon on him, because at that point he had named like 3 canceled artists or whatever. And then he was like, God. You know what, fuck it, I just like Michael Jackson. And then everybody was there. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Anyway, so let me recap everybody on this whole Mandalorian thing very quickly. There was a planned spinoff show with Gina Carano that never happened. No contracts were signed. When The Mandalorian ended, her contract was up. They didn't move forward with the show because she was making an ass of herself on social media. They gave her opportunities to fix the problem. She denied all of those opportunities and said, no, I don't want to do any of these things. And that's her right, but she chose not to do it. And she's voiced that on several podcasts. So she said all this. So this is not, all of that is exactly how it happened. They didn't renew the contract. She's also stated that she hated working on the show because she didn't get along with a bunch of people that she worked with, and that Disney is not a good company to work for. In this lawsuit, she's trying to force Disney to hire her back to do the show that she was supposed to be a part of, even though she's already admitted that she doesn't like working for them. So I don't understand how this lawsuit is moving forward, especially with morality clauses, but I think there might be an issue because she wasn't actually employed by them when they denied to hire her. So I think what they're trying to run with is Disney is going against hiring practices in California. That's what I think they're trying to do, based on what I've read. Anyway, so let's read this here. Disney loses latest attempt to stall trial over Gina Carano's Mandalorian firing. They keep saying firing, but she wasn't fired. Her contract was out. They did not renew the contract. Sex discrimination case goes before jury next year. This is going to be really crazy because if they're going to go with this discrimination case, it's going to be opening a big can of worms that I don't think people have fully understood. Let me read through all this and then I'll tell you my thoughts on that. Unless there's a shift in the legal force or a big buck settlement, the Walt Disney Company and Gina Carano will go head-to-head at the trial next year over the former mixed martial arts 2021 firing from Mandalorian. Again, not fired. The trial will start on September 29th, 2025. To be specific, having considered the party submissions, the relevant law, and the record on the case, the court denies the motion, U.S. District Court Judge Sherilyn Peace Garnett wrote earlier this week. So what she's saying, because she's not using the reason why she was actually not renewed, which was her anti-Semitic stuff and all of her like anti-trans stuff that she posted on social media. She's not doing that. She's saying that she was not hired again based on her gender or being a woman. Now, here's the issue. Anybody that supports Gina Carano knows that that's bullshit because they always claim that Disney hires DEI based on gender and, you know, any other thing other than being like a white guy, basically, is what they accuse Disney of doing. So now she has to go in and say that Disney denied her employment because she is a woman, even though she's said on podcasts with men that would say Disney only hires women and no longer hires men. So it's this weird conundrum situation.
Well, I think on her side there's no issue there, but it's the people that are on the online constantly like yapping.
Yeah, but it doesn't look, what I'm saying is it doesn't look good for her because she has been on these podcasts, and I can guarantee Disney's lawyers have already downloaded.
Yeah, but I don't think that wouldn't be admissible in court. That the judge would look in and go, "Serious? You're using some like idiot's podcast as like a
no. She said this stuff on there. She has said it on their podcast.
What, the DEI stuff?
Yes, she's been on podcasts and claimed all this stuff. That's why the whole the problem is, Paigey, she posted mockery of trans people.
Yeah.
So she's got to argue that it was a discrimination against her being a woman when she has gone on podcasts and talked about this in detail, which is dumb. She should have never done that. But she wanted relevancy.
To be honest, I don't think this.
I don't think it's going to go to trial. I think they're going to
sell. They'll pay her.
I think they're
out.
going to sell.
Like,
100%.
They'll do an estimation of like how much she like, whether it's what she wants or what they like. They'll get like a third party consultant to come in and go break it down, and then they'll probably pay her an extra 25% on top of that to make, because she would probably know how much she would be paid out hypothetically.
Well, Paigey, would you be surprised?
If she gets that extra amount, she'd be like, okay, I'll take that. And it's just going to be like, it probably be like 10 million. Like I think
my question is though, would you be surprised if there wasn't already a number attached to it? Because I believe there probably is.
No, I think there would have been an early thing before it went into. Before they announced that it would go for trial, so like
and she could probably ask for a little bit more now, but there's already a number there floating.
I don't think she. Well, I don't think she would ask for it because I think she would try and probably bluff. But I think Disney, like, if you just think because of how much money Disney has, and they just don't. Because the thing is, if she wins this, it does go, even just the whole. Even if it goes to trial and like things come out of the clause and stuff like that, let alone if she wins, it opens up the door for anything.
Well, right. Okay. So
like it could be for it could even be for like something that like a show gets cancelled. For example, it's like, well, hold on, I was signed on for 5 years on a contract.
Right.
Well, all of a sudden, people from the not Mandalorian, what is it, Acolyte, are like, well, hold on, I was signed on for 4 years, cancelled. Where's my money?
Yes, exactly. So the Acolyte, all the people involved with the Acolyte could literally go to Disney and be like, you fired us from our show. We were promised we were going to get another season.
And we
decided not to.
And we face
I'm a black queer woman, and now I'm going to sue you for discrimination. That's what this opens the door for, which is why I said I don't think the people have totally understood what this lawsuit means. If this judge or whoever's overseeing this case, I don't know if it's all going to be trial, if it's going to be judge, how they're going to do it. But
is it
jury? I mean, I don't know if it's a judge or jury.
No, it says before jury next year. So I was wondering if it's a judge or is it jury.
So if it's a jury trial, that means that the jury will have to decide based on everything they're saying whether or not, she's able to get her job back or not, whatever it is, whatever she ends up asking for. But the problem is, if they decide that sets a precedence, like you were saying, where anybody who gets fired from a job in the entertainment industry for any reason whatsoever can just sue the studios for money. This opens up a massive problem for
and then that then brings in something like the Screen Actors Guild and everyone that's a part of that and different deal and like different regulations that they're going to put in place with their next contract, or they'd want to bring up like an update to the contract that they just signed in regards to protection, like workplace protection and employment protection and everything
because
like that.
The thing is, the reason why she's not arguing about the tweets and the Instagram post is because she knows for a fact that those are covered in the morality clause. That's the reason why. She can't win that because she made the company look bad. Look, if somebody worked for me and they went out and they said, I want to go pew some business or something, I should have the right to be like, fuck you, get out, you're fired. I don't want you working for me anymore.
I want to shoot up this school. By the way, come watch my set at the club tonight.
Right.
Like, hold on, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like those clauses are in there for a reason. So she was doing stuff that was against the values of Disney. They gave her every opportunity to fix that. She chose not to. And I mean, so that's the thing, Defunct. That is my statement here is that, yes, it would be very problematic if it goes to trial. Honestly, no matter which way it goes, it could be problematic. Now, for which party, I don't know, but
it's probably bad. But also, I think Jenna Carano has nothing to lose.
No,
so she's probably
her career is done. Like she's pretty much been blacklisted because
like
of
she only has one thing that she can get out of the case, and that's the money. She has nothing to lose. Right. But the thing is that Disney and even just the potential, like how the thing was like saying, like how Disney was trying to dismiss that all those potential witnesses or like the so like Pedro Pascal was on there and like was it Kathleen Kennedy and like John Favreau and Filoni, all them like now potentially have to speak at the stand and stuff, and Disney wouldn't want that because it'd all get put out into the press and everything in regards to what was said.
So let me ask you a question. Based on all of this, do you think there's a number that Disney could wave in her face and she would say, "I'll take it"?
It depends because we don't know like the financial thing that she presumed was there if she stayed on The Mandalorian or did another season of The Mandalorian plus that spin-off show and then other potential Star Wars things and also things like appearing at things like Star Wars Celebration where you get paid to be there, like in fan conventions. And I don't know what her situation is. I don't know if she gets.
I think there's a $1 million price tag that she has. Like I don't know if it's 20, 30 million that would make.
I don't think it's that high. I think it's somewhere in the range of like. I said 5 to 10, but it could maybe be 15, just depending on like within the contract thing and also like hypothetical amounts. Because the thing is that like I don't know because I'm not over there in America, but I don't know. Does she go to those conventions? Like
she was still going. She just wasn't appearing on any of the panels. Like she was there doing autographs and stuff like that.
Oh, so she goes. Okay, I was just wondering. So, but like she could argue, well, when I was doing the show, I got this amount of money when I went.
Non-Disney panels is what I'm saying. Yeah, like, she's there as a guest.
But then like, there's the whole thing about public image and stuff because it was so public. So I don't think it's going to be like 20 to 30, but I could ease. If she got 15, I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm expecting somewhere between 5 and 10. But that's probably like the amount, and then Disney might add an extra tiny bit of on top just to go take it, like incentivize. Like,
how many seasons do we like? If none of that happened, if she wasn't a controversial figure, how many seasons do you think that spinoff would have done? Do you think it would have been like
maybe one or two?
I think
one or two. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the thing is, wasn't it like one more season of Mandalorian and then that spinoff? So hypothetically 3, if we assume that show gets 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But then maybe she might have come back and appeared in like one episode of The Mandalorian or something like that, or
even the movie. Yeah, she.
So there's like Disney can say like, well, no, this, but like if you hooked them up to a lie detector, or if we went to a timeline where she didn't put that stuff on Instagram, she probably does appear in like at least 2 more seasons, one more of Mandalorian, and at least the first season of that spin-off show.
At least in like a couple of episodes, I feel like she would.
Yeah, like she wouldn't have been like in every episode of that second, but she would have been like in the same amount that she was in the previous ones, just like sort of popping in now and then.
Did you fall asleep, 3Dub?
No, I'm just quiet.
Oh, okay. Okay, Staggervore here with the $5 super chat, $4.99. If the Mandalorian were to recast Gina's character, who could you see taking over the role? My personal choice would be Serinda Swan. I don't know. To be quite honest, I didn't care too much about that character. That's kind of the reality of it. I thought she was good, but it wasn't like a character that I was waiting on bated breath to see the show come out. You know what I mean?
It could be top tier main potential if it was like Caitlyn Jenner or something like that. Like that could.
Well, the thing about it is that they didn't actually do anything with the character once she was gone. So it's like
they mentioned the character?
They mentioned her, but she's not been on screen. So not even just like we haven't even seen her from the back. Like we haven't seen her walking away in a scene. Nothing. Like she just basically disappeared.
Is that a Craig David reference?
Show, so.
Is that
what?
You don't know that song by Craig David? I'm walking away.
Oh, yes. No,
Eric, you're a DJ, man. You should know this stuff.
For me, she felt like a badass character at the start. Obviously, if she does get recast, I do kind of see Serena Swan there, because of the because I've seen her in Reacher and she kicks ass too. So,
well, Eric would be stoked because it's an Inhumans casting, so you'd be over the moon, Eric, with that.
I like her as Zatanna personally from Smallville, but that's just me.
It's very clear though that they just want to like they would never recast because they just want to separate from the situation.
Unless it was like the main character, there's just baggage. Like, there's no point. Unless like it was like they're left on a cliffhanger or something, and the character hatched up. But then even then, like it'd be weird because it's not the same actor, so it'd be all just awkward.
We have some important questions to answer before we get into our final topics, and that is from Naruto. $2 super chat says, another question: do superheroes use the toilet?
One of the funny memes from Smallville back in the day is when he actually squats to fly. It looks like he's taking a bathroom break.
How did I know we were going that direction?
I'm trying to think what heroes wouldn't have to take a dump. I'm trying to like. Well,
when Bruce Banner is the Hulk, does he have like?
Oh no!
Well, that's what I'm asking. Or does he just not do
thanks,
it?
Naruto. Thanks.
Until he's back being Bruce Banner.
I don't think the Hulk eats, right? So I think
Smart Hulk does. Didn't he eat all those waffles or whatever they were?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's true. Never mind. You're right. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like Homelander would just do it wherever he wanted. I feel like he's just like, where was my?
We did that thing over the city, but that wasn't really number one or number two. It was number three.
Somebody animated with the super chat.
Oh my gosh!
I better call Saul the mouse. Too funny.
Oh, I was wondering who the hell's the mouse on Disney. Oh, you know what? I started watching. I had to turn it off because it doesn't hit the same. Started watching Peter Pan, and then I was like, I think I have to be in a certain mood to watch Peter Pan.
Wait, the cartoon movie?
Yeah, the old one, like the 90s or something like that. Or, no, is it even older than that? I don't know.
No, it's like the 1940s.
Is it? No way. No way. Peter Pan is from the 1940s.
It is.
It's no, it's one of the.
Oh my god! Ones. It's from 1953.
Yeah.
And then again,
he's got it right there on the shelf. Look, he's got it right there on the shelf. The Blu-ray.
Oh my god! I didn't realize it was that old. For some reason, I thought it was like.
It's back from like the Silver era, so like around like Lady and the Tramp and Cinderella.
What the hell? I'm
going to share a picture that's going to trigger a bunch of people. So here we go. Get prepared to be triggered. It is
what the fuck is
David
Batman
Cornsweat.
Dracula?
It's
I'm so triggered. Just can't.
David Cornsweat with Crypto. This is Kryptogate, by the way. We have Tyler Hoechlin and we have Henry Cavill all together on the moon. This is fan art, obviously. They're tagging on the side. So.
Thanks for clarifying, Eric. I thought it was.
we couldn't figure that out.
No, it's literal. It's from James Gunn.
It's a lake set photo.
Yeah. A lot of people were triggered by this because of the whole crypto situation. We talked about that a little bit the other day.
Even the dogs aren't safe. Jesus.
Yeah. Crypto is woke. It's a woke dog now. They just hire any dog to play any role there. But the funny thing about it is, the reason why I call it Kryptogate is because James Gunn sort of started posting stuff to make people be less upset about this. Here's one from Instagram. Where he's like, "Oh, look, there's a crypto that's not,
Well, are people still going on about it? Because, like, I think it's arse. I think it's art.
Yes.
There
are
also
people
like
still mad about this. Yes,
it's done. Like you can't change. It's not like it's like, well, I'm thinking this is what crypto is going to look like. It's like no, it's already done. So you can't change anything. Like, is it ass? Yeah, it's a shit crypto, but who cares? It's already
Poor
done.
dog,
It's not,
Jesus.
it's not a fucking real dog. He's not flying. It's a fucking made up dog. But he fucked it. He stuffed up the dog, but. It's done.
Well, he hasn't stopped yet. He shared this as well. So just so you know, the crypto.
Yeah, look, that doesn't look like his crypto either. Like he's just what's going on? Just random crypto.
He is justifying this different version of crypto by showing you that crypto has not always looked like a Labrador.
Yeah, but who cares? Like, who cares? That's what he is.
I mean, you would be surprised, Paigey. A lot of people seem to care on social media that this crypto doesn't look the same.
Oh no, I think he should look like my dog. Like that I think it's Labrador Erasure, but I'm not happy with it. But at the end of the day, what's done is done. He wanted to make it look like his random ass dog, so
hey,
it is what it is.
Leave Smallville out of this.
But that wasn't even crypto. That was that was their dog.
It was a crypto hint, but it wasn't crypto.
Yeah, it wasn't. That was just their dog. It wasn't even called crypto. It was called something else.
It was Einstein.
Well, also, I want you to. Yes, that was the dog. I also want to point out.
No, isn't that this dog from Back to the Future?
No. Yeah. Literally, they named him Einstein, but
so they copied Back to the Future.
Renamed him Shelby.
God, Smallville's so unoriginal. They just copy all this. Back to the Future.
I wish I had the power right now, but.
So James Gunn clarified the crypto will not talk in Superman. He's a dog. He doesn't like what does that difference that make? Like he's had animals talking before, but he's a dog. He doesn't talk unless you include barking. So no voice actor attached to Crypto. Now that doesn't mean that Crypto will not have an internal monologue. Like he might be thinking to himself.
Yeah, I think the best thing you do with like an animal is just have them be an animal. If that makes sense.
You type Crypto Smallville, it brings up the episode which the dog appears in. And it's titled Crypto because he's a kryptonite dog.
I just think it's so funny that like he says this as if it's a no-brainer. It's like, no, it's a valid question. Like we're in the DC.
Who was asking that? Like I feel like I know like the only thing is that the only thing is that I don't think helps with the James Gunn thing is that he only replies to the stupid ass questions. So
he also confirmed the dog is an alien, Paigey. I don't know if you saw that or not. So the dog.
Well, I'd like that, but that adds to it. Like they're Kryptonians. It's like meant to be this like noble family, and it's this raggedy ass dog. Like make it look like a half decent dog, you know?
It's really funny that like we've all been questioning, like, does it have powers? Does it not? Well, he's in space, so it'd be really sad if he didn't have powers. That's just a corpse. That's just a corpse of a dog.
It's like. Basically, it's like
make Crypto dog pool with the tongue hanging out.
But I don't know. Are they going to make it that he's had Crypto since or is Crypto just going to randomly arrive?
Well, keep in mind this is also the Crypto that's supposed to be in the Supergirl movie.
Why? So I wonder if they make it that Crypto came with Supergirl, and then Crypto's out in the loose, and maybe that's how he runs into Supergirl. Supergirl's looking for the dog. I figured out the end credit scene. There we go. So spoiler alert, that's probably how the end credit scene comes together. It's Supergirl looking for Crypto, but.
Wasn't there a storyline with Supergirl where she's trying to cure something and accidentally creates a super pet?
I don't know.
I can't remember if it was a dog or a cat.
James Gunn also shared some pictures from New York City Comic Con of the Creatures Commando pop up here.
This is your most highly anticipated thing. It's funny.
I mean, I'll be honest. I am curious about what it is. Like. 100%.
We get Superman finishing on December 2nd and then Creature Commando, so...
Are we not excited for it?
I am.
Okay.
Okay, Eric, you were talking shit about it last week.
No, I questioned, how this all works within the DCU, but I want to see...
when it comes out, I'll watch it, but I'm not counting down the days. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When it comes out, it comes out. Though I said the same thing for the Penguin, and I haven't watched 1 second of that, so...
I think most of my excitement is just that it is the start of the DCU.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to see how it all... Like, our first look into that world, and...
I think... Yeah.
Like...
There you go. Yeah.
Like, I wasn't that excited for, the Suicide Squad, and that feels like the same kind of vibe to me as, those kind of movies, so... I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, Streaky the Super Cat, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious about, I do wonder if Creature Commandos is the show that really... Because I know there's the whole thing about is Peacemaker going to address like its shift from the blah 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 into this new DCU? But then again, there's a character like Weasel who was in the Suicide Squad. So, and there's Amanda Waller, and is Rick Flag Jr.'s death going to be mentioned if that's still canon? So that's my curiosity factor with Creature Commandos is the show. It is what it is, but I'm more interested to see like does it actually explain that, or do we have to wait for whatever it is, Peacemaker season 2 to figure some stuff out?
My own big criticism is that I do wish it wasn't the first one. Like I do think Superman should have been the first project. I
actually don't mind it being the first one purely because it's animated. If it was live action, I'd be like Superman should be the first one. Yeah. But because it's animated, it is going to be more niche. I know people don't like that, but it's just going to be more niche because people. And also, I'm assuming it's shorter episodes, which obviously isn't like a draw card at the same time. So I think Gunn himself is not expecting this to be this like smash hit where it has like Peacemaker level viewing or Penguin level viewing or whatever it is, or Lanterns or whatever Lanterns.
The way I'm diving into the new DCU is only watching the live action. I couldn't care less about games and animation.
Well, games I don't think are ever going to happen. So
yeah, I think that was as soon as I was said anything, I was like, a game takes way too long to develop, or at least a half decent game.
I think
to me, I will
be like, oh well, all right.
I will be excited if the game is like a bridge, not like a retelling of a longer period of Superman, and it's about Superman. Then I might enjoy it a bit more.
I don't think the game is going to be about one character. I think if they do a game, it's going to be a multi-character type game.
I'm expecting it to be somewhere like a DC Universe Online sort of thing. Yeah. Maybe not like strictly online, but
then
it's
I don't care.
I actually prefer that over like some 10-hour
Batman game. It'll be a Batman game.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, if it is going to be any character in DC, it will be a Batman game. If it's going to be a one character game.
Yeah.
You mean Wonder Woman? That's coming out soon.
Yeah, I think it's better to make one game, make it like a service, and then just do updates on said game for each movie
that's the easiest way to do it. Like Fortnite. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
How I saw it was like kind of like Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3, where there was extra villains, but it's about the third movie without it actually being about the third movie. It had aspects like Venom, taking over Peter, but like they had other villains that clearly weren't in the actual movie.
Lone Wolf here with the GL Super Chat says, "I'll say it. Titans had a good crypto. I did like Titans crypto. I feel like they underutilized crypto in Titans though. I feel like Titans.
Well, yeah, Superboy and crypto were the best part about that show.
Yeah, 100%. Except for the final season.
That was my favorite episode.
That episode with Superboy was the best episode Titans ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was. If anything, if I rewatch Titans, it's going to be that episode first.
Yeah, and it feels like a backdoor pilot. Like after that aired, I was like, okay, where's the series order?
I want the Superboy TV show.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Let's see here. Where's the set? Hold on.
And the dog actually had powers.
Mia Powers?
Yeah, he had laser eyes. You even showed a gift.
Yeah, I thought so, but also I don't care enough about Titans, so maybe I just made it up.
Wow.
Let's see. I'm trying to share this video. Somebody just sent this to me. There it is. This is a video of someone at the Creature Commando pop-up from Twitter. There we go.
Creature Commandos pop-up.
That's cool.
The little security camera thing they got.
Reminds me of Invincible a little bit, the way the art looks.
I like the animation style. Like, it looks like a graphic novel. Like, it kind of just looks like a pop-up graphic novel.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Oh, that's really cool. So the bars over here, as you can see when they're walking through, that's why the characters are sitting in there. It's supposed to look like you're in the prison with them on the other side of the bars. I was wondering why that was. I was like, what is a reference? What are they trying to do there? But I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I'm pretty excited for that. We'll see how it goes. All right, so here we go. We're through all the big topics. Let's run through these end topics here. God of War is developing the live action God of War that's being developed is now being scrapped. It's starting
over. Yep.
Yeah. Rafi Judkins has left the project after completing multiple scripts. That sounds like Blade. The studio wants to move in a different creative direction despite praising the previous scripts, and there's no other information.
Mate, what is going on? I am still waiting. I feel like it's been like years and years since they said they were doing a Gears of War series or a Gears of War movie.
Yeah.
What is going on? Gears of War is so hectic.
Is it live action?
Yeah, it was meant to be, and like then like Dave Bautista's like, I'll play Marcus, and it's like no, and he's like too fucking old now. He's like sort of, and he's like muscled down, if that makes sense. I don't know if you got to play him, mate. Gears of War, so good. And there's a new game coming out as well, but it's like a prequel as well. So
it's
like,
apparently going to be on Netflix. It was announced in 2022.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's been there's been like nothing about it. Like they're just taking like, because I don't know. It's really annoying.
I think it's about scheduling and how it fits into their streaming thing. Like they're trying to get the best window possible.
He says here, Michael Giacchino, after visiting the set of Fantastic Four, it was just something to see real sets everywhere. So they're using a lot of practical and real sets. There wasn't a volume or a green screen to be found. It was just beautiful sets. They're doing such incredible work, and the actors all look amazing. And then there's some pictures here of Johnny Storm on the beach.
Did you see you probably have it up. I'll wait till the last bit because I think you have it, if I'm not mistaken.
I've been.
There's a character.
Oh, sorry.
There's a character that.
Yeah. I have it on here. Yep.
Okay.
I've been really excited for this. I think this might be the future of Marvel, or at least the attempt for the future of Marvel, with like the dedication to real sets, and I don't want to say proper filmmaking because I don't want to use that word, but like a more effort. I just guess just more effort into their movies. Like this is the first real movie with Bob Iger kind of coming back into things, looking over it more, being like, okay, we want quality over quantity. We don't know if that's going to be true yet or not. Like that could all just be.
I mean, obviously, when you're doing like the flying around and stuff like that, you have to use this green screen. But
of course,
you're right. Like sets like where they're inside buildings or they're walking somewhere or something like that. I feel like that could be practical. It's like they're getting rid of that to do VFX for everything, and I don't think that's necessary.
I have no problem with like special effects or CGI. I just love what seems to be passion in this movie. Like it feels like you have actors, you have directors, you have writers that love what they're doing here. They're so passionate, and that's so refreshing after 3 years of like we don't know what we're doing. A new writer, a new director, a new blah blah blah. Like it feels great. I feel like.
Are we getting the trailer for that this weekend for the movie? Are we getting a trailer for it or like a teaser? You think?
We might.
For what?
Not entirely. I think it's too soon.
Fantastic
for this. No offense to New York Comic Con, but they never do anything interesting in New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
CCXP's in what, a month and a half or something like that. If they do anything, it'll be there.
I don't even think Superman's getting a trailer.
No.
I think Superman will get a teaser at CCXP just because it lines up with the marketing strategy, and also because the next thing in line is the Super Bowl, and they probably drop a full trailer at the Super Bowl.
It's Herbie fully loaded. Good movie.
Herbie here is the robot companion of the Fantastic Four that replaced Johnny Storm in cartoons because they thought that a character setting things on fire was bad for kids. So they put Herbie in the cartoon as the fourth Fantastic Four.
It reminds me of the Power Rangers. He's like, karate is bad for kids.
Right. So Herbie's going to be there as like an assistant for the team, which I think is kind of cool. Again, this is just one of the standees at New York City Comic Con. So Anthony says here, Herbie's going to sell a lot of toys with the kids. I think what Darren was speaking to also when you were saying that, it made me think about this. This movie is merchandising gold, like the characters and the bold colors and the personalities and things like that. I think this is going to move a lot of toys for them, probably, compared to some of the other movies.
I'm hoping McFarlane does something with the 7-inch.
I saw his ugly ass Doomsday from the DCU, and
I don't like
statue.
that one.
So bad, so bad.
I also feel like the futuristic aesthetic will lend itself very fun for merchandise and toys, and all the different like technology you can turn into action figures and stuff.
Yeah, mate, we need to bring that back. Like, what toys are shit nowadays? Like, what's with the like non-good movie tie-in stuff? Like,
Right.
like create
100%.
something cool. Like that. Yeah, I know what you can do.
Darth, then I will say that this doesn't feel like those other two movies, to be honest. Like the other two franchises.
You mean other three movies?
Well, I don't count the one from
Four.
the 90s.
Four.
But
Then.
the two that came out in the 2000s were okay, but they were never going to be something long-standing in that way, and we got a little joke to that in Deadpool and Wolverine. And I don't count the 2015 movie. It just wasn't... It didn't feel like the Fantastic Four, so that doesn't really count for me. I think this one feels like a proper Fantastic Four movie. Right
I will say, like, the 2015 one will never be as great as the 2005 and 2007.
No, that is definitely the 2005, 2007 ones are better. But the 2015 one, the issue with that, I think, is you had a director, Josh Trank, who, whether you love him or hate him, had a vision of the movie, and then the studio stepped in halfway through and said, scrap the back half of the movie, we're going to make it the way we want. And then they came in and changed everything. So it's two movies kind of smushed together. And I think if, not saying it would have been good, but at the very least, if it would have been his vision, he could have stood by it. But he came out, like, I think the day it was released and was like, this is not the movie that I made or whatever. And so it was kind of bad.
That first act, I'd argue, maybe not great, but I think it's solid. Like, it's a solid kind of intro to the film.
Well, if you're going with like a sci-fi horror thing, which is what, what he was trying to do.
And then you could tell, like, as soon as that first act is over, it's like, I literally stepped into a different movie. Like, this is a completely different film.
They wanted to compete with the Marvel. So I think they hired him to make a Marvel movie for them with the Fantastic Four. He wanted to do something different. And they were like, no, this third act has to be a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
All right. We got a good look at the Daredevil suit from the new series here.
So we're getting like 5 new suits.
Well, I think
like,
this is
each year.
the suit without the logo, though. Isn't there going to be? People are thinking there's going to be the actual DD logo on the suit, but I don't think we're going to get that.
I'm hoping that the DD logo is actually going to appear in a movie, and they're saving it for a movie, from the pier. Like that's his final look when he's up with a team. I think that will be the DD logo.
I love this suit though. This suit here, I love the way this looks. I saw a little video clip of him wearing it, and it was very bright and bold. It looks a little washed out here, but it's actually very bright red.
Yes.
So
I was like, they're going with the color of the DD suit, but without the DD.
Yeah.
I wonder if Secret Wars they'll give it to him or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's a big budget movie. They're going to go with the DD suit.
Yeah. All right. What do we got here? What's left?
This
was kind of annoying right here. Blumhouse is partnering with Movie Gen, an AI tool that can generate video clips up to 16 seconds in 1080p. Blumhouse has selected a group of filmmakers to test out the technology and provide feedback before its debut. This is so stupid. The movies that Blumhouse makes are already dirt cheap. Like, why are you trying to do this? Like a horror movie, we just saw Terrifier come out. Horror movies in general are cheap to make, and they make 20, 30, 40 million dollars. You don't have to do this. And this is actually, if you ask anybody involved in the horror movie industry, this is awful. They don't want this. They like practical effects. They like things that feel real because they stand up in the test of time. I can't imagine this is going to be good for them in any way at all.
Lone Wolf, he did not get the DD suit in the season 3. It went back to the black suit.
So is this like that it generates like actual AI video clips? It's not like they put in like an hour of footage and then it
it's just 16. It says they can generate video clips up to 16, so it's actually generative AI.
Yeah, okay, that's not good because of the because if it was just a tool where they put in their own like hour of footage or something and said pick out the next, I think that's fine as long as it's an editor doing it. It's a tool to assist them.
I don't have an issue with assisted AI. I have an issue with generative AI.
Well, that's why I wasn't too sure. I know it says generate, but I wasn't too sure if they're putting in their own things or if it was literally just generating the clip. That's my issue with it. Because I mean, that's already been done in Hollywood. Like,
is this a palette cleanser here?
This is Cal's audition for Crypto. I know it's a blue cape in the back. See, like even if it was Cal,
must be small.
20 times better Crypto. It also looks like he's the one taking the selfie, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
It looks like it's like a thirst trap sort of like Tinder photo or something.
You should actually put like the logo for the movie at the top of this and just put it up and make people think this is the actual film. That would be really funny to me.
Yeah, and then
have Earth in the background. Have Earth in the background, and just like taking a selfie.
So this is coming out, I guess, in conjunction with that the movie, which is the Superman Todd McFarlane toy.
Okay, that's cool.
Guess, so this looks really cool. There's a few pictures of it here, actually.
I'm definitely going to buy that.
Look at this. Look how beautiful that looks. That is the hair. Everything looks so
Actually, you know what I figured out? I don't know if anyone's pointed it out before, but I saw it side by side. You know who looks exactly? You know who looks exactly like Tyler Hoechlin?
Who?
Christopher Reeve's son.
Oh, really?
The one that's going to be in Superman, the journalist. Look him up. Look at him, and then put him and Tyler Hoechlin side by side.
But look at this. This is such a good toy, though. This is a great toy.
I'm definitely
like
the movie.
It's coming out with the documentary that's coming out.
Oh, gotcha.
It's in conjunction with that. So
I hope they get one with Supergirl too, because that I want the bundle.
Oh, do you?
It's not a hot toy. It's a McFarlane toy. If it was a hot toy, it'd be $35,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's his son's name?
Something Reeve.
Something Reeve. Wow. Tyler Reeve. That's who he is.
Let's see. Is it Matthew or William?
William.
Yeah, William.
All right. Hold on. Let's see. Images. All right. Let's see. I want to see if there's one next to Tyler Hoechlin, but I don't see one. Right.
It was in the scene where when he takes off the glasses to Sam Lane in the most recent episode, and I was like, and I'd seen like an interview with him the previous, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, they look similar. Like they have the same like face shape. Now they're going to bring them side by side. I'm not going to look at anything alike. I'm going to look like a.
Well, I'm not going to bring them up side to side. I'm just bringing a picture of him up. There he goes, right here. Does that look like Tyler Hoechlin? Anybody in the chat?
No, not really.
Think. Oh, 3Dub sounding off. No, Darren. Oh, Darren said I'm not going to respond.
Maybe in like, I don't know, 10 years.
I don't know. It was just that scene when he takes off the glasses to General Lane last episode, and I was like, oh, they look similar in that specific angle and shot.
Yeah.
You know what he looks like? I can't put my finger. He kind of looks like Christopher Reeve. Just going out there.
It sort of looks like Mr. Beast.
Hey, Gwendolyn, what's up? This will be available for you in the morning. It might be missing a trailer. Actually, we haven't watched any trailers. We're going to watch one trailer.
Did we watch a trailer?
We're going to watch one here in a second, and then that's where we're going to wrap it up. So, all right, we're done with all that.
Is it a troll trailer or is it a real trailer?
No, it's a real trailer. When do I ever troll? I never troll.
Oh, with Joe Blow trailers, you did.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Actually, let's do this first. We'll save the trailer for last.
Oh, what a night.
Right, hold on.
Wow, you trolled us.
That was a troll. You're right.
Yes.
All right, so this is Tom Holland talking about the upcoming.
This was the haircut. Movie. So he's gonna like ship someone or something in the streets of London.
I think he looks. Yeah, I don't know.
That's his haircut from the video game movie, right?
Yeah, you're right.
The video game movie.
I'm blanking. My brain. Uncharted. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's not what he had in that movie, did he? This is like
similar. It's like really.
This is like a bowl cut sort of.
It's
thing.
It's a recent interview too. But here we go.
It's like a.
He's just stand-in for Guy Gardner.
Oh my god!
When I signed my contract for Spider-Man 1, I signed a 6-picture deal. I was 18 years old. I was more excited than I'd ever been about.
And that was, what was that? So that was 6 pictures. That was a 3. Hold on. What are you?
You paused it so wrong.
So the 3 Spider-Man movies, Infinity War, Endgame, and what was the other one? Civil War. So that was the 6 they did.
Oh, so he's up. So his contract's up now.
Yeah. That's they had to renegotiate with him.
Anything ever. And for the last 10 years, I have been at the beck and call of Marvel and Sony. And proudly so. It's been the best experience of my life. I'm now at a juncture where I can say no. And now that I've been afforded that power, I am struggling to figure out what is the right thing to do.
Oh.
it's meant I've had to put my foot down in certain instances, which I haven't been allowed to do in the past. And I think the learning curve that I'm on right now is dealing with that new sense of power, making sure that I don't abuse it, but making sure that I do the best thing for me rather than for the studio.
I'm British.
So what do we think about that? Before we get into the rest of this, what are the thoughts?
I think it's a good thing for him to do, but at the same time, like, don't like completely go away from the studio.
To be honest, I don't think he. Obviously, he's got like maybe like contractual negotiation like power to a tiny bit of an extent. But at the end of the day, if he was like, "Oh, I want too much money," Marvel would be like, "Okay, Miles Morales, guess who's getting an early debut?" Because that's what they'd probably do, and they just go down that path if they really wanted to. If it was going to be like really, and also I think like I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but he does fucking nothing outside of Spider-Man. Every single time he's tried to do something, it doesn't work. Like the only thing
so you're not a Tom Holland fan, is what you're saying?
Well, no, because he chooses. Like I think half of it is probably him, and half of it is his agent. But he picks some awful things to be in. That
What's funny is he actually like. There's been like a trend where all the MJs are tennis players, and all the Peter Parkers are Marines, and every single one had from Tobey Maguire to Andrew Garfield to him have been in a Marine movie.
I'm not too sure what that had to do with anything, but like,
I just thought it was funny.
He was in like not like the movies he's been haven't been very. The only one that was like decently watchable was Uncharted, but another franchise, another Sony thing. So, and that like he was in that show that wasn't like, and that obviously like I didn't watch it, but apparently just wasn't very good. I watched the Apple movie he did with the Russo brothers. That was arse. Yeah, that was arse. Just because he didn't really suit it either. Like, you didn't really believe that he was that character and the way they wanted to portray it. But maybe that's in the back of his mind as well. And I don't know if he says it in the interview, but it'd be like, Spider-Man is his thing. But at the same time, it's just like, if the stuff he'd done outside of Spider-Man was a bit more successful or a bit more well-received, then maybe he would have the power completely. Yeah. But if I was him, I'd probably hire a new agent that knows how to pick a good project, because some people literally thrive in Hollywood because their agents pick them good projects.
Yes.
I can tell you someone who's really good at it, who must have like the best agent in the world. Yeah. Chris Pratt. Everything he's in is at least decent. Like nothing he's in is arse.
I will say like the best place for him to drop out of Marvel would be after Secret Wars. Like they can reboot the whole franchise of him.
I think, I mean, just to go back for a second, like the amount of responsibility it must be for an 18-year-old to be like, okay, you're going to be Spider-Man.
6-movie deal. Yeah.
You're going to be playing Spider-Man for 6 upcoming movies. That must be the weirdest, like, I guess pressure and the weirdest like responsibility to be like, oh my gosh, I have this whole thing shrouded out in front of me. So I can 100% get the feeling of like, okay, now I'm free to do what I want. Now I can, explore. I can do my own company. I can try this project. Well, he did it. He's recently doing a new TV show. He's doing various different things. I actually think it's good to kind of take it one film at a time to be like, okay, we're doing Spider-Man 4. All right, do that. And then after that, obviously they're probably going to get him down for those 2 Avengers movies. That will be 7, 8, 9, right? If he does Spider-Man 4, Avengers 5, Avengers 6, that's already 9 movies.
And they're already planning for a trilogy for the new trilogy. So I mean, he's got Spider-Man 4 and 5.
We don't technically know that though. Like, yeah, maybe.
No, she has already said that there is a trilogy.
Yes, but
but you don't know how Tom Holland has looked at the same age for the past 10 years. You don't know how he's going to change over the next 5 years. And also, like, if he does another deal, like that's going to include presumably both those Avengers movies and maybe something else. Of course, that can be showed up as like a small part, and that can be like an individually thing outside of the contract.
I'm not saying like he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be in those trilogies, but there is a trilogy. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like it could be Miles Morales.
I think unless they sign him on for another trilogy, they're movie by movie, most likely. Unless he
Yeah.
signs another package deal.
Like, they can want to do a trilogy. That doesn't mean it's technically going to happen. Like, anything could happen from now in between Spider-Man, what would it be, 5, whenever they get to that point. I definitely think Miles is coming. What I would do if I was them, if I was Marvel at the moment, I would do, all right, Spider-Man 4, Avengers 5, Avengers 6, that's totally fine. I would do Spider-Man 5, but I would plan for Spider-Man 5 to be the last one just in case. And I would have that one be the like Peter and Miles show.
Well, we
I
already
will
know
say-
that Marvel is okay with doing fourth movies. We had a fourth
Yeah.
Thor movie, and now we're getting a fourth Captain America movie.
And,
So
like,
they're
I
okay
think
with that.
I will say,
But-
like, it's going to be, if they want to like merge Peter into Miles, I think they need to do it the right way, and so it's not like they're replacing him. It needs to be like a kind of like soft transition throughout the years to where people agree with Miles being
that's why I think I think they have to do it Insomniac style, where they are both Spider-Man at the same time, even if we're not technically seeing Miles or seeing Peter.
I'll tell you what though, the far right won't be very happy with that transitioning and a Black Spider-Man. Like it's like,
oh my god!
All right, let's be very happy with that.
Listen a bit more of this clip here.
And really, the best thing for the character. I don't want to make another movie for the sake of making it. I don't
The
want
studio wants you to make another Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, they do, and I want to make another one.
Mhm.
I want to make.
I don't want to turn it into a discussion, but I don't want to turn it into a discussion, but I just want to point out Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movies have been some of the most profitable movies for Marvel and Sony. So of course they want him to make another Spider-Man movie. I don't think that's in question at all. Also, I don't know if the podcast host, because I'm not sure, I think this was a podcast for him to talk about his beer.
Well, yeah, I can see that stupid non-alcoholic beer sitting there.
Yeah.
So I think it's
so I don't know if he truly understands the linchpin that Spider-Man is when it comes to Marvel. If Tom does not come back, they will find a way to continue Spider-Man.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, if the thing is, if he doesn't do it, guess what? They've got coming up. They've got Secret Wars coming up, which is effectively a reboot. So,
and Andrew Garfield's already said he's ready. Like he's ready to come back.
It's not even that.
So.
Like they could easily just get another person because at the end of the day, there's enough people that look like Peter Parker to play Peter Parker, or if they want to, they can just make it the Miles Morales.
That's what I'm saying. There's options. There's options out there. So, all right.
Many more, but I want to do it for the right reasons. And now, like I said to you earlier, sometimes I miss the day when getting the job was the win. Navigating and figuring out what having that kind of power means and that responsibility. You know? And I'm figuring it out. I'm speaking to people and asking questions, and I've been speaking to Downey a lot, but it is something that keeps me up at night, and I'm constantly thinking of like, is this the right thing to do?
I will say this: now that RDJ is coming back as Dr. Doom, I can guarantee he's trying his best to convince Tom to sign back on because we know they like working with each other. So I think there's probably a little bit of.
He also confirmed he wants to do many more Spider-Mans. So.
Yeah. But he seems like he wants the quality over the quantity, and that can be a good thing. But then you also look at Blade and you see like what's happening with that. So,
am I going to do justice to the character?
Oh, sorry, what were you going to say there?
No, I was just saying like many more could also just mean Spider-Man 4, Avengers 5, Avengers 6.
Yeah.
Like that is still many more technically.
Yeah, I mean, getting, like you said, the win was getting hired in the first place back in the day. You got a movie, great, you're in a movie. Now we're talking about a multi-picture deal is what people are looking for. So,
am I going to do justice to the fans? I definitely don't want to just make a movie for the sake of it, because that's not what Spider-Man represents.
All right, there we go. Final thoughts on that? Anything?
See what happens.
I think he has a right head.
Yeah. I feel like with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it's been a real I feel like every couple months he gives an update on the future of Spider-Man. I feel like every couple months it's a different answer. Like once like, oh, maybe I'll pass it on, and then next time it's like, well, no, I want to do it for 10 more years. And it's like it's going to be interesting, as we again approach like the Spider-Man stuff came out earlier when he said he read the script. He seems very excited for what's happening.
They were dancing in the living room.
Yeah,
with Zendaya.
I think I think he's kind of like mapping out what his next 5 to 6 years as Spider-Man looks like at the moment, and what his career looks like at the moment.
All right, so we got a couple of super chats, and then we're gonna watch the trailer for Dune Prophecy. I don't know how many people are into that, or if you even care, but we're gonna watch that.
One of the things I kind of liked about, like Tom Holland as Spider-Man is Stan Lee gave him the, this is what Peter Parker should be. This is what he envisioned.
And I don't even think Tom Holland's necessarily thinking of that. I think he just wants not to be attacked on social media. And so he doesn't want to do a movie where people are just like shitting all over it. And he's had to navigate that a little bit with No Way Home. But
Far From Home, even though it wasn't like the greatest, I still liked it.
Yeah, I don't think it's an awful movie.
It's just incredibly forgettable, though. You just sort of in one ear out the other.
Like No Way or Homecoming and No Way Home are both memorable for different reasons. But Far From Home is one of those movies where I actually think the twist hurt the movie. Personally.
Yeah. Where he wasn't actually from a multiverse.
I think him being from another universe would have made it better. But they went with he's a disgruntled
connected back to
Tony Stark.
Stark.
Yeah.
You know what comes out today?
Which didn't help the fact that they were already accusing Spider-Man of being the fill-in for Tony Stark. It didn't really help for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what comes out today, Eric?
What comes out today?
Funnily enough, I don't think you can watch it. I think the US is the only country who can't watch it. But The Office Australia,
it's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, but it's everywhere on Amazon except America. America doesn't get it for some reason.
Because it's fucked over here for stuff. I have to dig and find things all the time.
Yeah,
So.
I was sort of surprised. It's everywhere except.
Has anybody seen it? Is it good?
It's not. I think it's out in a few hours or something. It doesn't look great from the trailer.
I don't really like the original Office, or like the US Office. So.
Yeah. All right. So Cody here is a Team Eric member with a $10 super chat, and I actually really like this comment here. Someone on Twitter pointed out to me that Tyler is the first Superman to get a conclusion. Every other version besides Smallville, because it's about Clark. So basically, Smallville only being about Clark. I know 3Dub's going to be triggered by that, but I will say though, I've talked about this quite extensively. That a character being Superman and acting as Superman, I think Tyler has had more experience in that than anybody, because even the Lois and Clark series, it wasn't like heavy with Superman. I think as far as like in the suit, flying around, being Superman, I think Tyler's might have had the most screen time as that character.
As I said on Twitter, Tyler is the longest running Superman in suit, and Tom Welling is the longest Superman out of suit.
Was he ever really Superman though?
He was the Superman in the final episode, but he had the embodiment of Superman since the beginning of the show.
Okay, so I want to start.
He had all the powers.
Does that count to anybody else?
He was Kal-El from the beginning. So
no, I know that, but Superman is actually the name, the title. Does that count for everybody if he's not actually? Would you call Henry Cavill's character Superman in Man of Steel?
Yes.
Okay, so do you consider that Smallville's character is Superman or no?
Yes, I would say he has all the powers that make him Superman.
Okay, here's a big thing. It's the fucking Trump card. Do you call Bruce Wayne Batman in Gotham? No, you call him Bruce Wayne. That's what he is.
I say he's my favorite live action Batman, which is probably the hardest. Like
the one from Gotham.
Yeah, that's probably my hottest take. But it's like, well, I spent 5 seasons with that guy, and
wait, what is his name? David. What is
David
it?
Something. Yeah.
Starts with an M. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
With that, I would say he is Batman, not like Batman as we like dress as Batman, but as the character's parents' death and him learning to be grown up and fight crime and learn those techniques that he needs to become Batman. Still call him Batman though.
I would call him Superman with an asterisk. He's like, he is Superman, just not in the way we typically see it. Just a little different.
Yeah. He went by Boy Scout, the Red Blue Blur, the Blur, and he started to get the color scheme of Superman in the 10th season, and then finally the CGI suit in the finale.
All I'm hearing is that there was constant L's and it was never Superman. So Tyler Hoechlin go to.
There we go. All right, one more before we watch the trailer. If anybody has any last minute super chats, feel free to send them in because the trailer is the last thing we're gonna watch. South Texas Shark with a member chat, member for 22 months. Thank you for your support. What's your favorite poor man's food? Mine is a quesadilla.
Okay, well, can we define poor man's food? Like, what's the budget?
I don't know what that means.
What would you what would your budget be for a poor man's food?
Quesadilla is too expensive for me.
I don't know.
Poor man.
I know
for
some
me,
people consider, like in America, ramen to be a poor man's food.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, for me, ramen's poor man food, right?
I'm not really into, like, unless it's like proper ramen. I can't do like the 2-minute noodles type one. It's not very filling. My one, I don't know how much it'd be, but if you got like, I guess like the store brand one, like not branded ones, it'd probably be fairly cheap. And this is like full on trash. Like, it's very like, it's just trashy, but it'd be different in America because you have different style of this food, but baked bean nachos.
Oh no, that's not.
So you get corn chips. It can be the original ones, like just salted, or I get nacho cheese, and then you pour a tin of baked beans on the top, and then you cover it in cheese. But it's like the baked beans I have in Australia, so it's in like the tomato sauce, not like the barbecue one that you have in America. It sounds dodgy, but it's awesome. I wouldn't go out of my way to eat it.
He says
but
something
you can
get on the cheap is basically.
Well, yeah. So this would be like maybe like $1.50 for the pack of home-brand nachos, maybe like $1.50 for the thing, and then maybe you have cheese in the fridge. Or you can get like a shitty thing of cheese, and it'd be like maybe like $4 or $5, but it'd be like 2 servings.
One of my favorite cheaper things to eat is like an American staple. At least it was when I was growing up, and that's peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah. To be honest, like,
I know it's not exciting, but that's
it's pretty shit.
You know, you get the cheap white bread. It's not very expensive.
Yeah.
Any generic peanut butter, any generic jelly, and that's a meal for somebody that doesn't have a lot of money.
I remember once after school, I got home. I was like only like 14 or 15, and there was like no like Vegemite or peanut butter or anything in the fridge. I don't think there was butter. And I had a tomato sauce or ketchup and mustard sandwich. So I just needed something to get me there, and there was like nothing to eat in the fridge.
So I'm going to show you.
When I was younger was Nutella and banana sandwich.
Oh, that's not a struggle for me.
Those things are pretty expensive, actually.
Yeah.
So this is the struggle pizza.
Not back then.
Had struggle pizza. This is struggle pizza. It's really close to like school pizza. Kind of.
The toppings suck though.
No, but look, we said poor man. Like this is not gourmet.
I'm like, if I'm poor, I'm not eating that.
I was going to say, it was 87 for 4 little. That's not overly cheap. Also, that's sus pepperoni. Why is it cubed?
That's what I'm saying. It's like school.
Oh yeah,
pizza.
it's not very good. Yeah.
Oh, and also, Eric, as a suggestion, I don't know if you'll do it. Could we get a Lunchly tryout on stream from you? I think you'd be able to go buy a box of Lunchly.
No, I'm not going to eat that crap. No.
Why? Just a taste test.
No, I don't want to try that. It looks gross.
Why?
Lunchables are goated. I'm not going to do that one.
Do you still get Lunchables?
No, but I would rather have that than the Lunchleys, whatever the hell those things are.
Oh, okay. What was
would
your
you ever
Lunchable?
eat this? Would you ever eat Totino's party pizza?
I don't know, because I'm not too sure about the consistency of it. Because we have something similar in Australia, but I think it's a bit better quality.
The one that I like is actually better, and it's only like $2 more. Is actually the marketplace pizza that's at Walmart. It's $2 more expensive. But
I understand, but we're not talking about preference. We're talking about poor food. People,
it's like
for poor people, like people
$4
that don't have a
in your
lot of
bank
money.
account
You're
or something.
arguing about like, well, it's not as good quality. That's not the discussion. We're not talking about quality.
I'm like, I want quality even though I'm poor.
We just do like chicken nuggets, like we get those like jumbo bags of like
like the ones where it's like beaks and feet crushed up, like those ones.
Yeah, we just like lasts us months, and it's like if you're a little hungry.
But the reality is, I like a lot of like really handy cheap food in general because I just don't care. Like sometimes I'm sitting in there, we have like a store bought nachos and some store bought queso, and we'll just make like nacho dip while we're eating TV or
Have
something.
you ever
So,
have you ever had those microwave cheeseburgers?
Oh yeah, I hate those too.
No.
Yeah, I have.
I had one once.
They're sliders.
No, well, this was like a proper like cheeseburger and stuff, and it was
It might be a little bit better.
quite filthy.
look, Totino's was for when you were a kid and you didn't know what good pizza was. Absolutely. The Totino's pizza rolls are actually good though. The little pizza, bite-sized pizza thingies that will burn your mouth like hot
SpaghettiOs is another Pullman.
Oh
food.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
A ravioli, yeah.
The small tombstone
Oh mate,
stone
the canned
pizzas.
ravioli, at least the one we have over here and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to eat that out of like,
Yeah.
well, not cold out of the can, but like if I
I
make can
literally-
and stuff, you just chuck it in the fire.
When
and
I
let it
get
heat
off
up.
work, I have like packs of those tombstone pizzas, like the small ones, because I just want to heat something up quick when I get home. So for me, those are right above like the Totino's pizza because they're microwavable, so they're not great. But you can do them in the toaster oven; they're not too bad.
Hamburger Helper. It's cheap if you don't have any meat to it.
That hamburger helper always makes me like super sus whenever I look at because it's like I thought it was literally like it was just something you put into like ground mince to just make hamburgers, like it was like breadcrumbs and stuff like that. And then I saw it's pasta.
Yeah.
With like, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Where's the hamburger in this helper? Like,
Well, I mean, it's hamburger in the pasta. Like it's
yeah, but it's not hamburger. It's ground mince.
It's like hamburger
So I was
meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just.
I guess
do
they
that
just want like
ourselves.
alliteration and stuff. But yeah.
It's basically flavoring helper for hamburger.
Yeah, it looks filthy, but
We
you'd
just-
probably still eat it.
Yeah, I mean, we just do that kind of stuff like homemade, like the store-bought stuff. If we're not looking to pay, like we just put chicken in a pot and pasta, or like mix it up in like some mac and cheese or something. Works just the same. You get it for like a week.
Do you eat meatloaf?
No,
Sometimes.
not much anymore. It's not like that's like an old.
Sometimes.
It's like a
I
dish that's
never
kind of
liked meatloaf.
meant for old people now. Like most young people don't eat meatloaf.
My-
anymore.
I live with my
parents-
grandma, so I guess that's why I eat it.
Were you still alive? Were you born in that era, Eric, where they had like the jelly foods?
No,
Like,
that was before my time.
was that just before your time in the 1920s?
100%.
My parents always like made me eat like meatloaf, and I hated the taste. I'm like, it's basically ketchup. Yuck.
It is. It's a lot of ketchup, honestly. All right, we have a super chat here from Lone Wolf, $5 super chat. Thank you, Lone Wolf, chiming in with some Gotham stuff. So Gotham, Penguin, Riddler, or Jerome, which was your favorite performance-wise, not character, but
Jerome.
the actor in the role?
Jerome.
A lot of people would say Jerome. I would say Penguin for me, probably.
Well, yeah, Penguin would be a close second, but Jerome got me. Like
The
that
best
was
single season performance is the Riddler in that one where he has like the girlfriend.
So season 2.
That's season
either 2 or
2.
3.
That's
I
probably
think
the
it's
best
2 or 3,
individual
yeah.
season.
that whole like scene where Jerome is in the getting interrogated, and he like changes his facial expressions and merges into a psychotic little prick. That was awesome. That got me.
Lone Wolf, since when is pulled pork a struggle?
If you can buy pulled pork, you're not really poor.
Uh,
I kind of think Alfred's actor though was like the most consistent throughout the show. Like I feel like he was always giving the great performance. Because he was such a like support character for Bruce. Like he never had these like weird story arcs he had to go through. He was just consistent.
On paper, also Gotham shouldn't have been as successful as it was. I don't think it was a great show on paper.
After what's I liked about Gotham's Alfred was actually I didn't like for the longest time I didn't know that Alfred had a backstory of being in the Marines or Special Forces or whatever. I think that adds to the character of him
100%.
helping Bruce Wayne become Batman.
Wait, really? You bought a bowl of pulled pork for $5? I guess it's if you buy it, but if you're like a food truck or something, maybe. But you buy it in bulk or something, it probably helps out.
Hey, you can do the circles.
Yeah. I don't really find a use for them though. No offense to Lance, I don't think it looks good, but I know
Who do you think uses it for Lance?
Is it 3-dub?
Yeah,
no
I
offense
do
to
it.
3-dub. I don't think it looks good. I think if I were to make this, like if I were to redo this background so this were full screen and it were just our heads and bubbles, that would make sense to me. I think it leaves too much space on the screen. Yeah. I think they're going to add that though soon.
I hope so.
Most likely. All right. Once they do that, I'll probably be more amicable to them. All right. I'm going to pause this. So this is the trailer for Dune Prophecy. As usual, we haven't had a lot of trailers recently, but this is probably going to get removed because I remember the Dune movie trailer getting removed as well. So hopefully this will be available for everybody in the morning. I will literally trim it out as soon as they tell me I can't do it anymore. Before we get into this, is everybody here seen the Dune movies 1 and 2?
I've seen, both of them. Yep.
I don't really like Dune that much.
Okay. Well, I think this trailer might actually interest you because this is a completely different side of Dune.
Yeah.
So it might be a show you may want to check out just to see if you'll like it. But I get it. Dune is one of those like love it or hate it type
Wait,
thing.
wasn't this supposed to be a movie?
I don't think so.
Dune
That's
Part
Dune
3 is still
Messiah.
happening though. Yeah.
Oh, Messiah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
We've never seen a force like this.
I do want to point out,
HBO.
I just want to put this out there. There seems to be this resurgence of popularity when it comes to witches. Like there's so many witch properties. We had the Acolyte witches. We have Agatha right now. Now we're having a Dune series. It looks like it's going to focus heavily on the witches of Dune. It seems like there's
happening.
Yeah, it seems like it's all sort of coming back. I
It's
feel
Halloween.
you, Steven. I fell asleep in Dune 1. Yeah, I feel you. And Zaya said I fell asleep in Dune 2. Yeah, I understand. I get it. Trust me.
So if Steven and Zaya decided to watch Dune 1 and Dune 2 together, at least they'd be able to wake each other up when one of them's
And the reason why I said this might appeal to people that don't like Dune is a lot of times people associate Dune with like Arrakis, like the desert vibe. And this doesn't look to me like it's going to take place entirely on that planet. It feels like we're going to go other places. And I think that might be interesting to some people who are not into Dune. Not necessarily you, Darren, but some people that are not interested.
He's already falling asleep on me.
I'm on my phone.
What?
Isn't that the guy that's Mephisto and Green Lantern and the bad guy in Shazam?
You mean Sinestro?
Sinestro.
Yes. Yeah, he was the bad guy in Shazam, but I don't. Was he Sinestro?
Yeah, he was
as well?
Sinestro in the.
Oh,
Ryan
that's right. They
Reynolds.
did because he looked. I forget his face.
Yeah, it was all
because of the-
pink.
Yeah. And I don't know if the chat feels this way or not, but when I was talking about this with a friend of mine, they said the reason why they don't get into Dune is it feels like a very pretentious take on science fiction. Does that make sense? Like it's got a very like better than vibe than
Yeah,
the other
it's
stuff.
like
It's very
yeah.
art house. Yeah.
Yeah, like or even just like holding it to like a prestige sort of thing. Like if you told me like Nolan made it or something, and he had to stick up his ass or something when he was making it, then I wouldn't be shocked. You know,
I
Right.
think
Or he was looking in the mirror each time he took a shot. Like, ooh, that was amazing. Like I can understand the pretentious sort of things, but it fits with what Denis Villeneuve did. Like it looks like it's in.
No,
like,
it does
continuation of
100%.
that.
Yeah, this looks exactly like it was taken from the films.
Yeah.
I also think like there was like a joke in Deadpool about Dune and Ferozia when they went to Orlando.
Yeah, but I also think that the fact that there is a fidelity from the movie to this, like if this came out and it didn't say it was a TV show, I would think it's a movie.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to the quality of it, whether you like the property or not. Where?
Go back.
Oh, maybe.
The one that everyone hated because he was trying to hook up the car.
Oh, William?
Is it? Or does it just look like him? It
He
doesn't.
looks a
I don't know
little
if
bit-
it's.
He looks a little bit like Darren Criss from the side, but
It looks
I
a
can
bit
look
like
it up if you get
Tyler
it.
Hoechlin and Christopher Reeve's son.
all right, there we go.
There's probably a cliffhanger.
It's a TV
Oh, nope,
show,
okay.
Lone Wolf.
Yeah, it's a TV show. But
Did they
I-
fucking film this? When did they film this?
when
In
or
the
where?
desert.
Oh my god.
He said when.
No. Where? I wanted to see where they
Oh,
did
where?
that.
I'm sorry.
This looked like a lot of green screen to me.
Okay, no, they filmed it in Budapest and Jordan. Okay, they filmed it. Okay, they didn't film it in
Squares.
studio and stuff.
Why are our boxes so tiny on the screen? What is going on here?
Yeah, you have to.
What? What happened? It rounded the edges to the circles.
Yeah, you have the round effect on it. There's a
That's
round
so
effect.
funny. That's funny to me. Look at that.
Lone Wolf,
That's
it's a
hilarious.
prequel from my understanding. I think it's a couple hundred years in the past or something.
Yeah. Well, it says prophecy, so I think this is about like the prophecy of what happens in Dune, if I remember correctly. But I will say it looks beautiful. I don't know if I'll be able to stay awake watching each episode. We'll see how that goes.
10,000.
They're like I hope it has the quality of the movie, but at the same time has the aspects of the TV show, which is like consistent episodes.
What is up with your audio?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you like it? Did you put a sock over your microphone or something? What's going on? Is it
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what you were doing. Honestly,
I'm gonna put my echo on.
All right.
I hope they have the consistency of the episode length of the show, meaning like 40 minutes, not like 40 and then 20 and then 10 and then 50. I don't want that.
Max usually does it. Max normally has like hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the thing is when they moved it from streaming to the TV side, I think they have to be a set amount of time or close to a set amount of time because they have to deal with like ads and things like that. Dune Prophecy follows two Harkonnen sisters as they combat forces that threaten the future of humankind, establish the fabled sect that will be known as the Bene Gesserit. Okay. I haven't seen the expansion set, Anonymous. Sorry, I'll have to.
What's
look it
this?
up.
What's set?
It was something that was at Comic-Con, I think.
Oh, okay.
A Lego set.
Oh.
Let's see. Hold on. I'll see if I can find it before we go.
By the way, Eric, did you watch your favorite show, Agatha, all along this week?
I did actually.
Do you? I must say that was easily the best episode they did.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like, I was actually sort of surprised how well done it was. Like, the entire episode was interesting, while I think a lot of the other episodes have been like, they just sort of drag you along.
This was the
until
first
reveal
one
at
that's
the
really
end.
filled in the blanks for a lot of the story, which I thought
Yeah,
was
did
cool.
you get a boner when Ralph Boner showed up again?
I thought that was funny.
Did you know it was him as well? I saw people like surprised
No.
when actually appeared on screen. I'm like, it's clear when they
didn't.
said a mystery man from Westview.
Yes. So I kind of caught that part, but I didn't know earlier when they teased the character, like on social media. I wasn't sure who it was or whatever. Anyway, here's the Lego set of the expansion.
That's fun.
From X-Men 97. Or what's the for? You don't like it?
No, I'm just like it's cool. I just
Ooh, that is fun. Is the Gambit shot supposed to be like referencing when he does the thing?
I think so. Yeah, this is the inside of it, so it has to open up.
Oh, okay.
That's really cool, actually. Probably like $5 million.
Yeah, it's going to be super expensive. I'm looking around at it. It's got some cool stuff on it.
Sick.
I think the Sentinel needs to be bigger, but that's my only critique. Really.
So everyone's fighting, and then Wolverine just like, YOLO, let me just pop some wheelies on this bike just for to kill some time.
Who's the white one? The one
Iceman.
Oh.
Well, I don't know why he's there, but that's Iceman.
Is it for X-Men 97 exclusively, or is
Yeah,
it
I
just
mean,
like
if
comic?
look at the, I think it's for the X-Men 97. If you look at the character roster on the screen, I mean that's
and it's
the roster.
350. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
350 American as well. That's like 500 Australian.
Yeah.
Actually, probably more, 550.
I'm glad I never got like super into Lego because it's such an expensive hobby.
Unfortunately, we went to Best Buy and they had a whole section of Legos that we.
You just sold one of the Rolls Royces out the front. So that's
totally
decided to put that
totally
sale into the Lego set.
All right. With that being said, we've been on for almost 2.5 hours, but I knew it was going to be a big stream because there was a lot of stuff we didn't cover this week. However,
sorry, Defunct. I thought that was a P Diddy reference when he said Trey Fitty, but it's
no, of course. So just a reminder, the Nocturnal Nerdcast will be live on Monday, as well as the after party on Tuesday, because I want to cover anything that does come out from Comic-Con, even if it's not a lot. I want to cover it separately. So I'll be doing that on Monday night. So make sure you guys hang out for that. And then Tuesday, the after party at 5:30 Eastern, leading into Party Nation, where you can catch Darren and 3Dub and Lance and all of their special guests. And then I will be live again next Thursday at this time. Also, I did a live stream on Shorts the other night from my phone, where I kind of showed off a bunch of stuff in my house that we don't normally see from this room. And Darren stopped in. I think a few other people stopped in. It was a lot of fun. And I think people were commenting on how the camera quality was so high and you could actually see things much better. And I'm like, well, this is a 4K camera too, but I guess it just doesn't pick up the same way a phone cam.
Yeah.
Was that because of StreamYard?
Maybe, but StreamYard is 1080p now. So
yeah, it was on 4K.
But also StreamYard has to stream a lot of things as well as like the camera. I think with the phone, since it's a short and there's nothing else on the screen, it probably streams at a high quality, or probably better quality than this anyway.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see everyone later. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. I did not. All right. Everybody, have a great night, and we will see everyone later. Bye.
Bye.